Yo, Merv, you gonna shout out Groupon real quick?
What?
Live, man.
Fuck y'all. I fuck with Groupon. Anything to save $1. Shit.
You know.
Of course you do. We know that shit.
Of course.
Hey, everybody.
Yo, shout out to Merv Background. Shout out to Merv Background. Anytime you get a background that has like a random picture in the back, you're not home. So shout out to Merv wherever he's at right now. Whatever location he's at, shout out to that.
He's at a remote location.
A hotel where nefarious activities going down.
Right. We are dressed down. Merv dressed up. So yo, shout out to Merv wherever he's at, man.
Yeah, metrosexual motherfucker. You, I like it. You got the little black on black.
Merv dressed like he about to go meet the Obamas.
This nigga that put the armor all on the dome piece and all that shit, man.
Yo, and he's wearing. Look at the watch. Presidential watch.
Hey, yo.
Presidential watch on a podcast. Who wears a presidential watch on a podcast? You in the comforts of your own suite, and that's a suite room right there. You can tell he's in the comforts of a suite and has a presidential watch on and a button up.
I need my shades. The top of his head is shiny. I need my shades.
He should act all humble. All humble and shy right now.
He ain't got no grayers in his bed. Got the Just For Me light skin edition.
He don't have his hat on.
He came on the show, man.
He don't have his hat on.
Hey man, you doing your thing. Hey, you doing your thing tonight, man. You doing your thing tonight, man.
Right. What did we do to deserve this, Merv?
We're not working.
Y'all fucking idiots.
Yo, we're not working. Yo, but we are back. Yo, what it do? Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Shout out to Facebook Live. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to Blackjack TV, Zingo TV, channel 199. Shout out to everybody who's watching tonight. We have a fun show going on tonight. We're going to get into a different bag. But before I get into that, I'm going to kick it to my homies and my homegirl. I'm going to go with ladies first. Becca, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. The countdown has started. 2 weeks to my wedding. I'm getting excited about it.
We out here. Are you still having Mark come through as a stripper at the back?
Yes. Mark actually is going to jump out of the cake.
Y'all need to stop, man.
Mark is going to jump out of the cake. And then we're going to play It's Raining Man. Hallelujah. It's Raining Man.
I'm the stripper ball. Y'all ladies.
Right.
Hey, yo, y'all go for what? I mean, what y'all gonna do?
Right.
Mark,
make sure you cover your singles, ladies. Mark is jumping out the cake.
Yo,
ladies, get there.
Y'all ain't shit.
Yo, ladies, if you're not looking for no commitment, if you're not looking for anything but a wham bam, Mark is your man. Yo, one night only. One night only.
I forgot about Mark's wham bam.
I eat your kids' snacks too. You know what I mean?
Right.
No Welch's fruit snacks is safe.
Right. Hide all your pink Starbursts.
Your juicy juice will be drunk the fuck up, fucking around.
Right. Be careful.
Y'all crazy. Crumbs all over the floor.
And in the bed.
And the bed.
Hey, Mark the type that'll show up and leave and smash and just leave dirty dishes in the sink and shit like that.
And Becca, you know he's so disrespectful. He would drop crumbs on the floor and walk all over them. Like it's
hey, Mark would be Snoop Dogg from goddamn Baby Boy.
Yeah,
right. He's kicking down the kids' fort.
Kicking out your kids' fort.
Right.
Oh my
God. Mark ain't right. Mark ain't right.
Hey, I want my daddy, man. Your daddy.
Right.
Daddy bull.
That's Mark in the kitchen. Yo, you want this bacon or you want this sausage? That's Mark.
Yo,
guns and butter. That's Mark.
Yo, guns and butter. That's Mark. Yeah. Talking shit for no reason.
These bros.
Guns and butter.
Talking shit for no reason.
Right.
I love youngster.
Yo, this random shit. Like, yo, get up my head.
Oh shit.
Yo, what's
Funny.
next? How you doing tonight, homie? What you doing on? What you doing tonight?
I'm chilling, man. You know, it's hump day, trying to get through this week, man. I got something special tonight. I got the whistle pay. That's a classic. That's that damn exclusive shit right there. You just don't want to you gotta treat yourself sometime, man. When you popping $120 bottles, I mean that's what we gotta do sometime. Yeah, I'm flush, you know, because I mean I can afford that because we about to get that stimmy, you know what I'm saying? Them taxes the crab legs definitely gonna be on deck.
There you go.
I'm drinking some great value water. This water came from Clouds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sipping on tonight. Some great value water.
Hey, look, hey, Becca trying to make sure that wedding lit. We drinking great value water all the way up until the wedding.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. So, yo, Merv is really at a hotel because you can tell by that chair in the background too. That stiff ass chair, that's sweet. Yo, Mark.
Is that golf clubs on the wall?
Yes. Again, that's not his house. That is a suite. Yo, Mark, how you doing tonight, homie?
Man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I bumped into one of my young boys. He just bought a car, his first car, man. So I was just like, man, you know, first car 17 and he rolling. So I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? He's 17, got a car. So I just like, look, you know, drive carefully and all of that. And he just told me, you think I can get a little system in this John or something like that? I'm like, boy, learn how to drive correctly first before you get a system and all that.
That's what youngest want immediately, though, man. As soon as they get a car, they want to put some beat in it.
Yeah, definitely. You got to put some beat and some rims on them joints.
Yeah, you know, but I was like, learn how to drive, and then by May, if you're pretty good at it, then I'll take you to my guys. But I got to test you out first, see if you can drive. If you can't drive, you can't get no meeting with the guys. Absolutely.
Merv's looking at something. He kept in his eye. A man that means no introduction at all. Merv, how you doing tonight, brother? Looking dapper.
Skin Merv.
Y'all fucking crazy, bro. Hey, you know what? I'm feeling pretty fucking fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
You looking
fantastic.
Hey, yo, smell good? Check. Collar shirt? Check.
Oh my God.
Hey, the lady lovers? Check. Oh, that's why I call my haircut. When I go to the barbershop, yo, look at the lady lovers. Because when I get my cut, the lady love it.
I knew this would happen. And there you have it. And there you fucking have it.
Merv, real light skin tonight. Merv, real light skin tonight.
The light skin.
I got some people really kind of, I got trying to decide what to drink. This, you know what I'm saying? This right here is tequila. You know what I'm saying?
Got everything going on.
All that right there.
Really got some, okay.
Everything going on tonight.
What is going on?
Do you want your liver? Do you want your liver?
Yo.
Hey.
You don't have it.
Hey, I'm feeling. Hey, you nigga feeling good? Nigga feeling like
YOLO.
Uh-oh.
You're looking dangerous.
Hey, don't encourage that bullshit, Mark. Please don't.
Yo,
please don't do that.
Merv gonna pop up married tomorrow.
You looking real dangerous tonight. Somebody gonna have a blast tonight. You looking real dangerous right now. So,
Merv trying to get chose.
Had that fun, homie.
So I'm drinking on a little bit of Ciroc tonight.
Okay.
But Mark, this is the new bottle, man. Just came out over the weekend. It's called Ciroc Summer Citrus. You know what I mean? So
I'm going this weekend. I'm going this weekend to grab. You know
Summer Citrus.
I'm gonna have mine too. I gotta cop it.
I'm not.
Becca, you got to drink that water, that great value water.
Great value water.
I'm telling you, listen, if you go to Becca's wedding, whoever's invited, you drinking all this good shit at the wedding. Now, before then, if you visit Becca, it's not. You drinking water. You drinking the great value water. Wedding, you drinking the good shit. Trust me.
And it's being catered. The wedding's being catered by Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, that's a good wedding then.
Word.
You're doing
Chicken middies all night, son.
All night. Oh,
You know, Chick-fil-A, they might come up in there and cater for free. Yes, sir. My pleasure.
absolutely.
You know how they
Right.
do.
Well, hey, you know they're gonna have great manners and great customer service on deck.
They
You know what
sure
I mean?
will.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm like,
Elite
man.
customer service.
Big customer service. Yo, so we have a fun podcast tonight. It's a little bit different. The last few weeks we were doing different things, relationships, real life situations, and all that good stuff. So tonight, in light of one of our icons, Eddie Murphy, just dropped Coming to America, the sequel to the classic Coming to America, of course. We decided to go a little bit different on tonight's episode. Tonight's episode is about really just movie night pod. And it's going to be things we're going to talk about, some of our sequels that we felt that were really good sequels that we felt that were worthy of a sequel, worthy of a series, etc. So we're going to get into that tonight. And after that, we're going to get into some of the movies that probably should not receive a sequel, like those that you should not touch because they are good to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, Merv, you good? You need some more time, Merv? You got to get there.
No, I'm good. What, nigga?
Pay
Is
attention.
that room service? Is that room service?
Is that a dancer?
Yeah. The Merv, I don't even want to see nothing in the background. So what y'all want to start? Let's start with I know we talked about some of these movies that had like sequels and series. So let's go with the Friday series. Let's start there.
Okay.
Universal classic. So Merv, Stacks, I'm picking both of you guys because I know this is something that we all talked about earlier today with the Friday. What y'all think about the Friday series, man? Like, why this series seems to be one of the few that we all love.
The Friday goddamn movie collection is, in my opinion, they got one nigga to thank for this whole shit. You know what I'm saying? You got Friday after next Friday, and all that shit, and all them shit was good, but it's nothing like that fucking original. And they got to thank motherfucking Smokey for this motherfucking series. Because without Smokey, this motherfucker, you don't get no Friday, next Friday, Friday after next. Because to this day, motherfucker is still waiting for Smokey to come back. Now, Daddy is a funny motherfucker. But that motherfucking Smokey, that motherfucking first one, let me tell you, I don't know if Stacks remember this shit, yo. High school, all right? And when I say that shit, I won't hit no motherfucking jokes, all right? But in high school, the first Friday, Stacks and our homeboy Nebo, I should really charge them motherfuckers for attempted murder. Because in high school, they brought that movie to my house to watch for the first time in my fucking life. I had mononucleosis. In high school, and they brought that fucking movie over for me to watch. And nigga, when I tell you, every time I laugh, I felt like I felt death. I felt like I talked to the motherfucking Reaper. Nigga, that movie is so motherfucking funny, but nigga, I was in pain the whole time watching the motherfucking movie because every time I laughed, nigga, I talked to that goddamn Reaper. So, hey,
That's why we brought it.
I got that Smokey, man. Listen, the whole fry is good, but yo, if they can bring back that goddamn Smokey, I don't know if they bring back Smokey now because goddamn bang, bang, bang. The bang, bang,
right.
Dead. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang, bang. That nigga's dead. Boy,
John Witherspoon.
God damn, boy. But the whole series is good though. But because of Smokey is the reason why we got Friday after next Friday, and all other shit. So they need to thank Smokey every time they see that nigga.
Absolutely. How about you, Stacks?
I think that I think a little bit different. It is definitely Friday. I think it came out in like 1995. I think all of us were still in high school. That movie. That's one of the movies you can still put on, and it's 26 years later, something like that, and you can still watch it, and you can still, laugh to it. Of course, Chris Tucker did make that series. I mean, he did make when Friday came out. Chris Tucker was clearly the star. He stole the show. But what's good about Friday is that they were able to continue on without Chris Tucker, because I guess Chris Tucker knew how great he was in that movie, so he wanted more money. But they wasn't really willing to pay him that much money. So in come Mike Epps. Yep. Of course, he's not as funny. He wasn't as funny as Chris Tucker, but Next Friday was funny as hell, and Friday after next was funny as hell too. I'd sit down and binge all three of them, even at 40. like I did when I was 15, 16. It's a classic. It's always going to be a classic. And the thing about it, y'all notice how over the years you've seen stuff on the internet where they teasing, another Friday coming out, like last Friday or something like that, and they be teasing that Chris Tucker's going to come back. I know we're getting into this later, but I think it's fine where it is. I don't need another Friday.
Do we need 4 Fridays?
I think it's cool.
I mean, it's a month.
Well,
yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why the main thing was there was a rumor that Chris Tucker was going to come back for
Right.
the last Friday. So
Right.
if he comes back, I think niggas want another Friday. If Chris
Right.
Tucker ain't coming back, now we good. I'm good money.
But you
I think we can watch regardless, though.
yeah, we'll watch it.
Oh, yeah,
but you
we
got
still gonna watch
Debo is no longer with us, and John Witherspoon no longer with us, right? So it's
I forgot Debo there.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Yes.
damn.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Debo and
He
John Witherspoon.
sure is.
You got two main characters of the series that's not going to be there. You know what I mean? Although they didn't have Debo in part 3, they had old boy Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Triple OG.
to your point, Merv, I think if they can get Chris Tucker back,
Damon. Triple OG.
you can probably pull it off. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can pull it off. So my question for Mark and Becca, do y'all think that there is a closure to Friday? You think Friday trilogy is among one of the best trilogies that came out? Because sometimes trilogies can be tricky. Even sequels can be tricky. Do you think this is one of the better trilogies?
I really don't know, because I'm just like, next Friday was kind of man. I think with next Friday, it got a little better to me after I watched it some more, because it came on TV and right.
Mhm.
But it's still, but compared to the other two, that was the one that's kind of like, I can skip over that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It had its parts because I like Pinky. You know what I'm saying? Pinky was crazy, right? And Mike, it was really kind of like the introduction of Michael Blackson. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he from Philly, so I got support.
Mhm.
But
Of course.
you know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
But getting into the movie though, I just thought it was like a lot of overacting in that movie, and it was just kind of like, it was okay, but it was like, like it could have been a little better, maybe written a little better or whatever.
Hey.
I just like the other two better though. That's just me.
Hey, listen. After the original Friday, the other movies, like I kind of agree with Mark, they're cool, but that goddamn when they had Cat Williams in the fucking bathroom, and they said,
Yeah.
boy,
I'm a boy, David.
Yeah. Cat Williams was a star.
I am
Yeah.
a boy.
Cat was a star and Pinky was a star.
Yeah.
That's when
Pinky stole the show.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up. Shut your like, yo.
Shut your goddamn ass out. Say it again, nigga. Say it again.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Yo.
when you're dealing with the trilogy, there's nothing like the first one, right? There's nothing.
Right.
The first one is always gonna hit different than the sequels or even the third one, even if they're good. But there are certain parts in the second one and the third one that were really funny. There was like that bathroom scene is funny. There's some other sections where I think Cat Williams shined in that one.
He did.
But the first one is the one for me. The other two are fine. They're not horrible. But if they were not made, then I would have still been okay with the first one.
Okay. And that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So we got so much to get into. I'm gonna keep going.
We gotta keep going. Okay, keep going.
So our number 2 that we had as a unit was Rocky, the Rocky series. So I know Mark is passionate about this because it was shot in Philly. It was shot in Philly. So Mark, what did Rocky do for you, man? Like, what did Rocky do for you guys in Philly?
Well, here's the thing.
Mark, and what's your favorite Rocky? And which movie is your favorite one?
Well, you gotta understand.
Before you answer that, because I prefaced that because Rocky was the only champ in Philly for a very long time, and he was fictional. So
no, I mean, wait a minute. Wrong again.
Yo.
First thing, hold the fuck up.
He doing that to
First
message
thing,
you.
you not
Uh-oh.
gonna disrespect Joe Frazier. That's number one.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, Mark. You're right, Mark.
Sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
Hey, you gotta pay homage. You gotta pay homage.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Smoking Joe. We not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
We just
Mark.
ain't have a champion in football. I understand the Cowboys fandom made you go there, but we had champions in everything
I'm
else.
sorry, Mark.
You know
My
what I'm saying?
apologies.
So let's get that right. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Tread lightly, Sean.
No, but
Actually,
but the answer,
go ahead, please.
but to answer
So
your
back to
question
Rocky.
though, I didn't get to see any of these movies in the movies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I really wish that I was old enough, to really understand what was going on. But then I got to watch them, and I'm like, I don't know, watch them when you're young, right? It's just like, man, like, yo, how they take all these punches, right? Because you watch real boxing, and real boxing looks nothing like that. Now
like round one.
I'm gonna say like this. My favorite Rocky was Rocky 3 with Mr. T as Clubber Lang, right? I mean, Mr. T talked a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he talked shit to his wife, like, hey, woman.
Hey, woman.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me show you what a woman feel like.
I'm like, man, yo, Rocky was so mad. He was mad. I mean, shoot, Sylvester Stallone really was about to come out of character right there. Like, yo, you're talking real greasy to my chick right now. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that was crazy, right? I obviously I like Rocky 4 because I didn't. I mean, it was sad that Apollo Creed died, but I mean that was like an iconic moment. You know what I'm saying? That he got beat up. Like that was an iconic moment, right?
It's supposed to be an exhibition.
I'm gonna tell you, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Rocky 5. I'm just, the only thing, that Rocky 5 that I thought was all right was the fake Don King. I thought his character was funny, right?
George Washington too.
Hey, Mark, hit me and I'll sue.
Yo, yeah. I wasn't a fan of Rocky Balboa. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it was more, I understand it was like more real. And I met Antonio Tarver, who was Mason the Line Dixon. You know what I'm saying? When they were filming that or whatever. Nice guy or whatever, but they were just like on the street, like in front of my job. You know what I'm saying? At that time. So, I met him or whatever. Real cool guy. And Don King was actually there, the real Don King. Like he was up there too. I don't know what he was doing there. But you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a big fan of Rocky Balboa, but it was more real though. That movie was more real than the other one, but wasn't a big fan of it. So the Rocky series overall, it was pretty good. But you had to ask somebody who's a little older because they probably were into it more because they could tell you like, yo, I went to the movies and did this and that and all that. It's hard to ask me because I watched all this mess on DVD and TV.
Gotcha. So Merv, I know you are passionate about the Rocky series, and JG not in add IP Man to the series, and you'll see why here shortly. So Merv, what is your take on the Rocky series? What was your favorite Rocky movie out of that series?
Yo, my favorite Rocky movie is the goddamn Ivan Drago. The goddamn when goddamn Apollo Rocky 4, Ivan Drago on USA versus Russia. Goddamn Apollo coming down that motherfucker with James Brown coming to America. He dancing and shit. He said, "Hey boy, you ready? This motherfucker, are you ready?" And motherfucker hit that motherfucker. He said, "Boom!" And hey, Ivan Drago gloves ain't move. And Ivan Drago
I know.
Hey,
I must break.
You will lose. I said,
I must break you.
No, he said at the Rocky.
He said at the Rocky. You're right.
Rocky. Apollo, he said, you will lose. Hey, when I saw I was like, oh, this nigga in trouble. And then,
I knew he had fucked up when he did when them gloves ain't move. I knew he had fucked up.
Yeah, because you remember he was walking to the corner. And he got to look back real quick, like he was thinking, like,
what? At the what? Hey. And then one of the most famous lines. Yeah, you're right, JG. If he dies, he dies. Hey, look at that movie got so much motherfucking quotables that you got Adrian talking about. You seen him? You see how strong he is? You can't win.
Yo.
Hey, that
should have He should have dropped it right there in that divorce papers.
Merv, Adrian had no trust. She had no confidence in him. None.
Oh, what he just said to Apollo? Why would she?
Yeah, right.
Hey,
right.
So man, all the Rockies, man. Well, I like 3, 4 is my 4 is my favorite. 3 is my second one is Mr. T. But the one thing about all the Rockies, man, it shows how you go from a fucking underdog to like all the things is you're underdog, never quit, you become champion, you fall down again, and you get back up and become champion again. So one of the best shits that Rocky said in a movie, I mean it's a movie part, but it could be applied to life. He was like, you always get knocked down. You always gonna get knocked down your ass, but what shows a champion or a real man is how you bounce back up and get off your ass. Yeah. One other thing, real quick. Now I'm done with this shit. I played football at USC from 98 to 02, and when you in that fucking weight room, listen. This is my if you work out or you try to do anything physical, put on a motherfucking Rocky soundtrack.
I had to tag him.
You get a whole 10% of strength. You know where the fuck it came from.
Fact.
Right.
Absolutely. So Stacks, what was your favorite Rocky series? This Rocky series.
My favorite Rocky movie was 4 as well. A lot of people forget that this was during. I think Rocky 4 might have been going on during this Cold War between the United States and the USSR, and that was a big thing, and that's why I don't understand. That's why we've strayed so far. It always, when we was growing up, it was always in everything. It was always the United States versus Russia. Absolutely. United States versus Russia. Absolutely. But I still remember first watching that movie, and when Apollo Creed and when he fought the Russia. A lot of people don't remember that Rocky tried to get Apollo to call that fight off before it even happened.
Right.
He tried to get him to call it off. And it was a pride thing for Apollo Creed. It was like, I'm sick of not being in the spotlight no more. I want people to know that I still have it. Clearly he did not have it no more. The Russian was on steroids and shit. But y'all remember when one of the most iconic parts of that movie is when Apollo Creed hit that mat. And that them two damn when he had them two jumps. Yeah. And I remember when I first saw that, I'm like, oh my God, I think he's fucking dead. I was little, but I was like, yeah. And I remember being mad hurt because he was fucking dead or whatever. Yeah. But it just shows that movie for me. It just shows.
It's that Rock is trying to throw the damn towel, but he gonna throw it, but it dropped by his hand. The towel and Apollo body hit the fucking canvas at the same time too.
Yeah, it sure did. I think Rocky fucked up by not. I mean, of course, Apollo. I don't know why kept telling him not to throw the towel. I think Rocky should have disregarded it. What's up?
It wouldn't have fucking mattered. You must forgot about the goddamn movie. Because when the fucking referee got in between them, the Russian still jumped over hit fucking Apollo, and he turned around.
In that last fatal blow.
He turned around, looked at Rocky Corner and did this. He was going to knock that fuck out anyway. Because it wouldn't have mattered.
He was trying to send a message.
He was trying to send a message.
Yeah. But for Rocky, even though his wife, I mean, people, you know how bad it is if your wife don't believe in you. Despite all of that, this dude went to Russia and started training, doing some damn backwoods snow Russia type training, and this dude was looking ripped when he went into the fight, and he literally beat a dude who was on heavy performance enhancing drugs, and it just showed with perseverance and determination and all that shit. That's why I love that movie so much. But that's the best one in the series. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm gonna just say my second favorite one was actually Rocky 2. Rocky 2 was when he actually got the rematch and he beat Apollo.
Yep. So Becca, were you into the actual Rocky series when you was coming up? I know Rocky was probably like far from your universe at that time.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first one. I don't remember the rest of them though. Like the first one is, I remember watching that one, but it was so long ago I don't really remember too much about it. But the other ones I don't remember at all.
And the only thing you remember is Rocky trying to catch that damn chicken. So go to the next movie.
So I'm gonna agree with both of you. I'm not going to go into details on mine. Rocky IV definitely
Forget you, Merv.
was my favorite. Rocky IV always my favorite. Rocky III was a great setup to Rocky IV. I loved it.
Right.
It was on the back end of the Cold War. One of the things that was synonymous to me with Rocky IV, my uncle Vint, he was playing for VCU college during that time. And during that same year, they did a swap where they took 3 players from VCU and sent them to the Soviet Union. And they took 3 players from the Soviet Union and sent them to VCU. It was something they were trying.
Wow.
Yeah, my uncle was over there. My grandmother was telling me that he was so afraid when he was over there because this was during the Cold War that they were trying to get him back over here soon as he was the only black male over there at that time. So, and that movie came out during that same time. So I had a big fear of Russia because I had an uncle that was in the Soviet Union playing ball, and you seeing Ivan Drago killing Apollo Creed, who to me was a legend because you had Predator and you had Action Jackson. You know what I mean?
Right.
Legend met you up.
Right.
Right. So that was my pick. So we're gonna keep moving on. So our top 3, we felt that was universal. We also picked Nightmare on Elm Street versus Friday the 13th. The slasher movies.
Oh, the image.
Woo!
Oh.
So Tina, I take it that you're not a scary you like scary movies.
I used to watch scary movies, but after I got older, for some reason I turned into an old lady and the images just get me. But I remember, like, I'm gonna pick, if I had to pick which one I like the most, I would have to go with Freddy Krueger.
That's my motherfucking girl right there.
I would have to go with Freddy. Freddy was scary as hell. Like,
yeah,
just the way he looked, the blood on the ceiling, that particular scene right there, it always is in my mind. I can't watch horror movies to this day because of those Freddy movies. I've decided I can't watch them no more. I watched the last one with Freddy versus Jason where he had his head, he butchered and beheaded him and had his head by the lake and the head was laughing. I'm good. I'm good on the horror movies, but if I had to choose, my favorite would be Freddy.
Hey,
okay.
Sean.
How about you, Mark?
Nope. Shoot. I mean, I would say like this. I like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies better, but I like Jason better as the villain because I like the way he killed over Freddy, right? Because Jason was very creative in the way he killed people. You know, like when the girl thought she was gonna hide in the sleeping bag or whatever, and he started banging that sleeping bag against the tree.
That was crazy.
Crying.
Yo, that was fucked up. Hey, Jason. Yeah, that was fucked up.
That was crazy.
That was nuts. And my favorite thing of Friday 13th is when the black guy, tried to fight Jason. You know,
on the roof. Yeah.
I was like, that's my favorite.
He's like, hey, bro, you say, all right, man, take your best shot.
I don't know why he said that. I don't know why.
That was, like you said,
that
clean
was
on.
dumb.
Clean on.
Knock his head off his shoulders.
Yeah. So Mark, yours is Jason. So you like the Friday the 13th series over Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, we have 1-1.
I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Jason's the better villain. That's all.
Oh wow. Okay. How about you, Stacks?
I like both of them. But I gotta go with with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and simply because we were all children when this shit came. I don't know. I had some great parents, but they were terrible for letting us watch that shit. Because dude, I literally after watching them shits, and I remember my pops would tell me, like, I don't hear no shit after you don't watch this shit, boy. I mean, you can watch it or not. So I'd watch the shit, and I would be petrified of going to sleep. Nigga. I would be fucking. I just knew when I fell asleep that Freddy was gonna fucking murk me or some shit like that. I honestly thought that, and I'm gonna let Merv expound on this, but I chose Freddy over Jason because Freddy was very, very fucking funny when he killed motherfuckers. He always had some shit he just said that was totally out of pocket. And I think I know where Merv will go at with this shit. I hope he does. But bro, hey man, when I used to be at Merv, man, we would watch it. We would binge watch these shits and just enjoy the shit, man. The shit and Freddie was scary and shit like that, but he was funny as fuck to me as well.
Yeah, he was.
But I got Friday the 13th. I mean, I got Nightmare on Elm Street series over Friday the 13th, even though I love Friday the 13th. A lot of people, one fun fact about Friday the 13th, a lot of people don't know, Jason was not the killer in Friday the 13th. In the initial Friday the 13th, it was his mom's offing everybody.
Right. I don't think that was a revelation. I think we all knew that if you followed that movie.
Hey man, how much fuck you? Straight up and down. Everybody ain't know that shit.
I'm just saying that was like an aha moment. So yo, Merv. Yo, that must be high. Yo, Merv. Who you got? I mean, you got Friday the 13th, right?
He got Freddie with me.
What?
Nah, I'm just kidding. I think got on MC.
Freddie.
No.
He got Freddie.
Let me tell you
He got
something.
Freddie.
Hey, listen. 1, 2, Freddie.
No, don't sing it.
You. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6,
Rebecca can't take it, man.
Don't sing it.
7, 8.
No, we get it.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah, we got it.
Merv,
You sound terrible. We got it.
He's trying to terrorize me.
Nigga, let me tell y'all something, man. How many motherfucking horror series got a whole fucking nursery rhyme that everybody motherfucking knows? All right, that's 1. 2, the origin of fucking Freddy is fucking crazy. I love storylines. I love origins. This nigga was a child killer. The parents trapped this nigga inside a fucking boiler room building and burned his ass down. And this nigga made a deal with the fucking devil before he died in the fucking fire to get revenge on the Elm Street parents and kids. And that's how the fuck Freddy is born, where he could come in dreams. Mm-hmm. That's why he got the burnt fucking face. That's why he got this fucking burnt fucking goddamn red and green damn sweater. Like, how the fuck could you, like, everything about a horror movie, the origins, the tale, the storyline, is fucking Freddy. And then the nigga scary as fuck. And then the motherfucker got quotables. Like, me and this nigga Stack say this shit all the fucking time. I think it was when a fucking girl comes up, is in the bedroom and the mom.
That's Dream Warriors, right? That's Dream Warriors, right?
That's my favorite Freddy. Part 3, Dream
Kincaid.
Warriors.
Kincaid.
King motherfucking King. You got a goddamn girl. You got the girl in the bed. The mom come home from the date, and she was like, "What you doing up?" She said, "The mom had her dreams again." And then the goddamn the boy, the man did was like, "Hey Kay, where's the bourbon?" It was like, I'll be down in a minute. And like 5 minutes later, and Freddie come up there. I said, "Where's the fucking bourbon, bitch?"
You should.
Hey, hold on. Another thing in that same fucking movie, you got the kid with the glasses and shit. He do the dreams, warriors and shit like that. He said, "I know
what's the master."
And Freddie coming to him. Hey, I don't believe in fairy tales, kid, and kill that motherfucker. So Freddie a few motherfucking horror motherfuckers that can scare you and can make you laugh in the same motherfucking time. This nigga got so much quotable. But the scariest quotable, listen, the scariest quotable is in Freddy Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, at the motherfucking pool party. When he walked through the goddamn at the pool party, walked through the goddamn fence, and everything's a fire, and that nigga said, "You're all my
children."
Yo, I'm so triggered.
How can you go against that nigga? How can you go against that person, dog? You can't.
He the GOAT, man. He the GOAT.
Yo, Freddie, out of the two of them, Freddie made you like for real afraid. I remember getting a Snoopy doll. I got a Snoopy doll, and the Snoopy had a red and green scarf on. When I tell you that I threw that Snoopy doll away, like I was terrified. Even now, at that, Now I haven't seen a horror movie in a very long time. The spirit can't take it. But y'all talking about it right now. I'm so triggered. I'm gonna be so scared going to sleep tonight. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Freddy is scary as fuck. Jason is all right. I remember like Freddy and Chucky. Like I used to be scared as hell of Chucky. Like somebody was gonna be under my bed. Like I remember, call me a girl, I know. But Freddy is terrorizing. Like I'm triggered. I'm gonna just stay up. I'm gonna just stay up all night because I can't. I'm gonna hold my fiance tight. Like, please hold me. I'm scared. He's gonna laugh at me.
I'm the only one that's gonna be the wild card because I got to go with Jason. I think that when Jason got kind of rebranded, because you remember Friday the 13th went through like a little small rebranding when it became more of a Jason series as opposed to just being.
Oh wait a minute, I can't even hear him right now.
You got audio issues, Sean.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got
you. When Jason got rebranded, it changed the dynamic of the whole series after that. One of my best Jason movies was the one where the girl was telekinesis, when she was the one who was beating him up, like she was just making shit like pop out of nowhere and choking the shit out of Jason. That to me was down by.
Oh, he's falling out again.
I hear you.
Fellas. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was getting a call. To me, that was the best one, hands down. So I'm gonna go with Jason. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
So now we're at a part right now. We're gonna go through a quick rapid fire. So I asked the fellas to come up with 3 of their personal top sequel movies, and we're gonna go like back to back on them, right? A little bit of rapid fire. So because we got a lot of them to go through. So I'm gonna start with Merv, and Merv had the Godfather trilogy as his sequel of choice. So Merv, what made you pick the Godfather trilogy, man? Which is, by the way, a freaking classic. Every last one of them.
Yo, if you like gangster movies, if you like mafia movies, if you like drama, if you like seeing a motherfucker come full circle from his true destiny, or what the fuck he's supposed to be in a family or as a man, you got to watch the Godfather trilogy. The first Godfather, it starts off is about Michael. He's a fucking army vet. The family is it's a mafia family, and they're trying to keep Michael away from it. But the father gets shot up. He almost dies. The brother gets killed, and Michael has to get into it. But it turns out Michael ended up being the smartest of everybody in the family. He ended up being the most gangster of everybody in the family, and he goes from being this lighthearted army vet to being this ruthless, smart-ass Don. And if you from the beginning of the movie, when you see him as he is growth at the end of the movie, the beginning of the movie they show his dad getting his hand. When you're a Don, they'll kiss your hand in Italian mafia. They kiss your hand. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning of the movie, show his dad get it. At the end of the movie, the son Michael is the one getting his hand. Now I gotta talk about this real quick. So Michael did some shit that his wife wasn't supposed to know about. So his wife had a suspicion that he did it. And it was like, did you kill him, Michael? And Michael was like, don't ask me about my business. Did you kill him, Michael? Mike said, don't ask me about my business. Said, Mike, did you kill him? Don't ask me about my business. And she asked one time, Mike said, this one time only. By the way, Michael killed that motherfucker. Mike said, this one time only, I'm going to allow you to ask me about my business. And his wife said, did you kill him? Mike looked at White straight in the fucking eye and said, no. That shit was hard as fuck. Now, the reason why I picked this trilogy, we talk about sequels and we talk about prequels. The Godfather 2 is one of the best fucking sequels, in my opinion, of all fucking time, because there's 2 fucking stories being told. In this one movie, they doing a prequel and the sequel at the same fucking time. You're not gonna see that in any fucking other trilogy. In this sequel, they doing a prequel and the sequel of the first movie at the same motherfucking time. They show how the father becomes the Don, and they show how the son takes the mafia family to a new level. So they go back and forth this whole fucking movie between the father, how he became the Don, and then so the father's name is Don Corleone, and the son is Michael. So in the part 2, they show how the father becomes the Don Corleone, and they show how the son Michael takes this mafia family and elevates it. And then in part 3, they show how Michael is trying to get out the business, but he got a mentee. Every time he try to get out the business pull him back in. He got a line in part 3 that says, "Every time I try to get out, they keep calling me back in." Yo, I'm trying to tell you, if you like mafia, if you like gangster, if you like good drama, family action movies, you got to watch the fucking Godfather trilogy. It's one of the best trilogies of all fucking time. I'm done.
All right. So Stacks, you had House Party as your series. So yeah. I know everybody can understand it and probably watch House Party. So what made you pick this one, man?
Well, what made me pick House Party is the fact that it's another cultural like hood classic. Yeah. You got Kid and Play. I'm gonna totally disregard 3 and 4. But mainly House Party 1 and House Party 2. It kind of went down from there. House Party 3 but House Party 4 I don't even think I've ever seen. That was a most definite snoozer. But you had Kid and Play in there. You had Tisha Campbell. That was kind of like her breakout. You had I think that's the first time we've seen that wasn't the first time we seen Martin Lawrence. Of course we saw him in Do the Right Thing, but I think he became he became superstardom, as far as not superstardom, but he came up off of the first 2 Fridays, and off of the first 2 house parties. And a lot of people might not agree with this, but I think I actually have House Party 2 over the first House Party, just a little bit. I like both of those movies. Yeah, Mark, I see your face. Yeah. But you got John Witherspoon in that one. John Witherspoon's wife in that movie was actually in Friday as well, trying to the lady that was collecting the rent and all that stuff. As far as music and being in high school, and you had the late great Robin Harris in that joint. Yeah. So it was I think it really did a good job of transitioning from part 1 to part 2, where Kid went off to college, and I think what happened was Robin Harris wasn't even in there simply because he had died between the time they made part 1 and part 2. But he went off to college, and it was the whole college scene where I guess Play was trying to get these record deals and shit like that. He blew the man money, the college money. He used it for a fucking record deal and shit. It was a good story. You got Colt Jam in there. What's the boy's name?
You said Colt Jam.
Full Force. I'm fucking up. You got Full Force in this. You had a lot of music. You had a lot of music icons in that. I wouldn't say icons, but a lot of music groups in that bitch. It was just feel good for that time. Now, like I said, I'm talking House Party 1 and House Party 2. Of course, in House Party 3, you had TLC in that joint. It just turned me off because they brought I think Immature was on that joint as well. Yeah. That one went way down. Martin wasn't in that one, so I'm focusing on those 2. I think that that one is definitely one of my faves as far as I guess at least having a sequel, because I'm not focusing on all 4.
Gotcha. No doubt. So Mark, you went with the most predictable one that we felt.
We knew you was gonna pick that shit. We knew that.
Oh man.
Yeah. we knew.
Y'all should have known it. You know what I'm saying? I love cars, so I'm a car enthusiast, also race. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I mean? I loved it for all the cars. It's a lot of great cars in this old school, new school. But as far as the movies itself, it really started out really about racing. Then it became like an action adventure type of series, right? Two with Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? I like the first scene though, when they jumped over that bridge. I fucking love that shit. That shit was great. 3, I mean, for real, you could throw it, you could throw out, but then they got the 5. And Fast 5 was like the shit. That was my favorite one because everybody got together, and kind of all did their thing to take down this drug lord or whatever, right? But it's all about the cars for me. I mean, the Charger, the Dodge Daytona, the Lykan Hypersport, the Lamborghini, for the Lambo, you had the Bentley GR9. I mean, you had so many good, rare cars too. Stuff that you don't really see on the street like that. So when you do, you just like, yo, you got to pull up to that boy, and give him a thumbs up. Don't give him like one of them things you want to race because you will get blown out the water, even if you're a good driver like I am. I'm like, if a guy, got one of them old school Monte Carlos, with that horsepower in it, I'm like, yeah, he's going to kill my car any day of the week. So I love it for the cars. But I like the series though, because I'm like, man, now it's like, since they're up to like number 8, now, my nephews are older. So we've been in the movies to see 6, 7, and 8, so I mean, it's been good, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we all like cars. So
I got a question for Mark. Mark, do you? I mean, because what are they at? Are they at 8 or 9 now?
No, they're going into 9. They're going into.
I mean, and I guess it's kind of a bad question for you since you love cars so much. But when did I don't know of any movie that's done that many movies. You don't think that it's a bit much? I don't think that, but I want to see how you feel about it because they had. I don't know any series that got like 9 fucking movies.
Yeah. I was like, here's the thing. Once The Rock came into it, right? It really took it over the top for box office appeal because everybody loves The Rock. The Rock can actually do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? So once then they did a spinoff with him, with Hobbs and Shaw, him and Jason Statham. Fast and Furious is actually going to run to 11, and then they're going to be done with it, right?
Why so many? That's ridiculous.
Hey, listen.
No, a lot of fucking movies.
Hey,
If you got, listen, it's supply and demand. Like people still, every time they come out, they sell like a motherfucker at the movie. So why would you stop? You got Vin Diesel and you got Rock, two of the very popular fucking actors.
Yeah,
that people that still draws people.
Vin Diesel?
Why would you
Vin
stop?
Diesel is
and
trash.
And it's still entertaining.
No, but you gotta understand.
This ain't no Oscar shit. This ain't Oscar.
No, but you gotta understand something. Like Sean, you gotta understand something, Sean. When you talk,
it's not Oscars,
you're not really talking really about Vin Diesel, right? When guys, who really like to drive, right? I mean, like guys like me, man, we feel like we Dominic Toretto behind the wheel. We actually say that shit before we take the fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's an iconic character. That's an iconic character.
Exactly.
So that's an iconic character, you know what I'm saying? That's how you feel when you get behind the wheel. Like, how dare you challenge me? You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm Toretto in this bitch, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
To piggyback off what Mark is saying, the formula is motherfucking great. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter by itself ain't nothing. Jelly by itself ain't nothing. Bread by itself ain't nothing. But when you add the car, the Vin Diesel actually looks like a motherfucker that would be a good fucking racer. You got a good action plot. You throwing the Rock. So you got the people like cars, the action shit, throwing the Rock and throwing Vin Diesel. Man, it really builds a good fucking movie, and it draws people. So why would you stop if people still coming? Because
I would say like this:
a new Fast and Furious, the motherfucker do box numbers. Why stop?
Yo, and I'll say like this: like with here's the thing with Vin Diesel, right? A lot of people don't see him as nothing else but Dominic Toretto. Like he Dominic Toretto. You know what I'm saying? He's But guess what though? You know what I'm saying?
Like
when you get behind that wheel, that's how you feel though.
Yeah. That's what
And the nigga
he's like
makes about
Gabrielle
30
Union.
million per movie.
He's like he's Gabrielle Union. They're playing. You seen him in one role, you seen him in all.
Yeah,
Like Taraji P. Henson.
Right.
But that nigga make more money than Gabrielle.
Yeah. my top three, one of my top threes were Predators 1 and Predator 2. The other Predators are all right, but I got to go with Predator 1 and Predator 2 because you got Arnold and you got in part 1, and you also had my man Danny Glover in part 2.
You like 2?
Huh?
Did you like 2?
No, part 2 was really good. Part 2
was
a different side of Predator because now he's in the city. He's murking people in the city. You know what I mean? And the thing about that, you go from having a bravado in part 1 where you have all these mercenaries in the jungle fighting the Predator, and he taking all of them out. And it took Arnold Schwarzenegger character Dutch to take him out. So now you go to the city, you would never think old ass Danny Glover from from Color Purple was going to be able to take out the Predator. You know what I mean? And he was killing it. Like he had, that was during the time when you had, I think it was Lethal Weapon series were kind of coming around during that time as well. So Danny Glover, his whole persona in movies were changing because you got to think in Color Purple, he was Mister. You know what I mean? No one like Mister. No one like Mister
at all.
At all. So he ended up changing and going to more action hero movies, and Predator was one of the things that launched him over. And for him to be able to go back and kill the Predator, and he destroyed the Predator, like real shit. Not cut his arm off and everything. So I thought that Predator 1 and Predator 2, it was so different because during that time we didn't have a movie not even close to being like that. You know what I mean? And for a long time in part 1, you never knew what the Predator was until like middle part of the movie, he finally showed himself. And like Murph said about Rocky, Predator part 1 had a lot of quotables. It had a bunch, and it had an all-star cast that was young actors in that time, during that time. So these guys were actually end up being big in their own rights in other movies moving forward and also in life. So I thought Predator 1 was a good setup. Predator 2 was another good one. The Predator series, not so much, but mine was Predator 1 and Predator 2. All right. So for the sake of time, I know Murray got to hop off real quick. We're going to have to go a little bit more rapid fire here. I'm going to go back to you, Murray. You had another one that you put out there, which was the Dark Knight series. Classic series. So what made you pick the Dark Knight series, man?
Yo, so actually, this is one of the few trilogies or series where the sequel is actually better than the first movie, than the original movie. Because I don't know, a lot of people might not realize that Dark Knight is a trilogy. The first movie is Batman Begins.
Mm-hmm.
Then is Dark Knight. Then is Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
So I think some people felt like Dark Knight was the first movie, and Dark Knight Rises was
That's what I felt.
Was the second movie. But Batman Begins is actually the first movie where it shows how he became Batman and how he eventually rose into how he became Dark Knight. But the trilogy is really, in my opinion, the foundation of this trilogy is the sequel. Because the Dark Knight with Joker and Heath Ledger, I don't think we will ever see another fucking Joker.
No, we won't.
No,
we won't.
Nope.
This fucking
hell
Joker.
no.
We
Not at
won't.
all.
When I tell you, I watched this movie because of the villain, not because of Batman, because of the fucking villain and how he made this motherfucker. I could watch the movie all over and over because of how the Joker was. And this is one of the best movies of all time. Definitely best action. That's one of the best action movies.
It was.
He was amazing in that role.
Yeah,
He was
amazing.
You forgot Batman was supposed to be the leading star of the movie. That's how
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger did win an Oscar for that movie though, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Well, you got posthumous.
Well deserved.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Posthumous. Yeah.
So Murray, we're going to stay with you because I know you got to hop off for late night shenanigans, as you put it. So we're going to hashtag.
That's why he look all pretty.
Yeah, he put hashtag shenanigans on his feeder on Facebook.
Oh gosh.
So you have 48 hours as your other one. So
classic.
Another classic, man. What made you pick 48 hours as your other series?
Man, so to me, that's one of the few sequels where it actually looked like where the sequel and original could have been one long ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's definitely directly connected. They didn't really change the plot. They didn't really change the characters. They didn't really change the writing. It flowed so well from the first one to the second one that it really could have been one. It could have been a 4-hour movie. That's how close it was connected and how good the writing was connected from the first one to the second one. But here's the thing: if it was a 4-hour movie, I would have been in tune with that shit from the fucking beginning to the end, because the shit from the first movie and the second movie, both motherfuckers was funny as fuck. It was a good plot. They had a good follow up from the sequel. It seemed realistic. It was very realistic as far as like the plot on how the first one rolled into. Eddie Murphy had to came out of jail for 48 hours. They catch some bad guys, and he had going back to jail. He caught a bullshit charge, had to spend additional years in prison, and the cop that was supposed to look out for him, motherfucker ain't visit him until he got another fucking case that he needed help on. But the case he needed help on is part of the original motherfuckers that really set up the first movie, but we didn't even know about it. And it was like the writing was good. It was the comedic genius of Eddie was in there, and Nick Nolte played a very good.
That was a good pairing. I would have never thought that was a very good pairing.
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Yeah,
damn, that was a good pairing.
Yes. So it was like, Eddie Murphy is my favorite comedian of all time. And it was just one of the movies where everything fell in place, man. Everything fell in place. Like you can watch 40 hours, another 40 hours, and feel like you're watching the same fucking movie. You gotta go back and look at the fucking title to see that it's two different movies. It was just good writing, good comedy, good action, and good fucking flow of both fucking movies, man.
Absolutely. So, man, with that said, I know Merv, you got to hop off, man. Thank you for hopping on tonight, man. I know we're messing with you.
Wrap up.
I know you dapper up, so you might have to go and freshen up a little bit. Put some
man, strap up too, man.
Yeah, got to put a little makeup or whatever. You got to put on your face or whatever, a little blemish and all that good stuff. You got to refresh.
No. Hey, listen. I know at 43 years old, when my parents had me, I was an accident, right? But let me tell you something about my parents. I might have been a motherfucking accident, but my mama and my fucking father and my daddy and my mommy, hey, them niggas blessed me with some motherfucking beautiful skin. I got that good skin. I got that big skin. That's right. Hey, let me tell you something. I don't use no products. This is regular lotion here, nigga.
Just juices and berries. Just juices and berries.
Right, juices and berries.
This motherfucker embraces the fact that he was a fucking accident, man.
Right.
Yo, it's so crazy how he says that so happy. Like, I was an accident.
Exactly. Like, I was a fucking accident, and what? Can y'all say that? No, I can't. I really can't.
Right. And he got beautiful skin.
I wasn't an accident.
This dude's like got beautiful skin.
I do.
Wow.
Beautiful skin.
So, Merv, enjoy your night. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. Make sure you get an Uber.
Be safe,
Wrap
Merv.
up too, man.
Yeah,
wrap
man,
up in these streets, man. It's wicked out there.
Yeah, grab that Uber, homie.
Wear your mask.
Yo, Merv, shoot the club up tonight, too.
I got it right here. All black everything.
Okay.
Hey, matter of fact, hey, don't hang up.
Wakanda forever.
Don't hang up yet. Hey, all black. Hey, look.
Oh my goodness.
This guy.
Yeah, a gator?
Nigga got a gator? Nigga want a gator?
Somebody. He is acting like the ultimate
what is you?
Okay.
This motherfucker is the fucking. Are you the fucking ghetto V for Vendetta motherfucker going on with that fucking neck ghetto motherfucker? What the fuck you got going on, man?
Man.
Oh,
Georgetown.
Damn,
Lord
man.
have mercy.
Georgetown stand up.
Nah, but I want to sit the fuck down as far as with this motherfucker. Shit, fuck that.
Georgetown, stand up. Yo, so we're gonna keep it moving.
Peace, Merv.
Later, Merv.
Merv,
Bye,
peace,
Merv.
man.
God.
Be safe, man.
Hey, y'all bring on Tina now.
All right.
We can.
Be safe, man.
Tina, ready?
All right. So now we can.
Merv, y'all send a prayer up for Merv.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Merv gonna be chilling.
Tina B in the building.
Hey, babes.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Yo.
Tina.
Yo.
Yo, for real. Let's make sure we pray for Merv tonight, man. Hope you don't catch anything.
Please.
Merv gonna be fine, man. You about to chill. You about to chill, yeah.
Mark,
you such a bad.
Mark,
you such a bad influence, man. You be gassing this cat, man. That's y'all with that bullshit, man. Yo, man. Let's just continue.
Merv does not do not feed the animals, Mark.
No.
Hey, Merv and Mark, Eminem, they part of fucking scumbag nation out this motherfucker,
Do not
man.
feed the animals.
Mark is like,
Lord have mercy.
That's something, so be it.
And Mark parting shots to Merv would be, man, hey man, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. That leave you with a whole lot of options. Bull.
Young bull gotta be careful out there.
That leave you with a lot of options, bull.
You know what I'm saying?
The bull gotta be careful, you know what I mean?
My man, I'm shame you. So
Nah.
you.
Nah, I mean, like I just
let's-
sent my
let's
young bull out. Nah, I mean,
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Let's get the train moving.
Of course he is.
Welcome, Tina B.
Welcome, Tina B. We dropped
Tina
off
B.
Tina, so we're gonna keep the thing going before we get into Becca and Tina with this the movies that you should not touch. We still got a couple of movies we need to hit on for myself, Stacks, and Mark. So let's keep it going real quick, fellas, rapid fire. So Stacks, your second movie you selected was The Terminator. To me, definitely a classic. Definitely a classic. So what made you pick The Terminator, man?
Hey, bro, I remember. I think the first Terminator. I think it was 1984 or something like that. But it was kind of like my first introduction into the like sci-fi, machine type, But what was crazy about Terminator to me is the fact that the first storyline where they had, this guy sent somebody, he sent a cyborg back to eliminate. Well, actually, I think the first Terminators when they sent when Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger he was the bad guy trying to terminate
John Connor.
Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, the first one.
Yeah.
Because she we found out part 2 that her son, we found out part 1 that she would raise a son that would be like the leader of the of the people that's going against the machines. And they went into the second one. It had a fire ass storyline, and the third one as well. I don't think I've seen the fourth and fifth, but the first 3, I think that they did a really good job of continuing the storyline. Because I think in the second one, Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually a good Terminator. He was actually fighting with
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in the third one, John Connor was a little older. He was a nomad. He was living from place to place. But and I think that Sarah Connor left behind like some weapons and shit like that. But I thought it was very. I think the whole plot, the whole scheme, as far as man versus machines, I thought it was well put together. And like I said, that was my first introduction to that type of movie. I think the first one was in '84, and the first Terminator, man, when we was young and we just watching this dude like taking all these bullets and just taking out everything in his damn past, in his path, and old boy was trying to explain to her like, Terminator, you got to realize, like, cause she thought that old buddy was some type of crazy dude. Like, man, you got to realize this Terminator, he can't be reasoned with, you can't like bargain with him. His only mission is to fucking kill you. You gotta understand that shit. So yeah, man, Terminator is definitely one of them ones that always gonna be forever in my heart, bro.
Okay. So Mark, you ended up picking, like, you went left field on me with The Incredibles.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see you picking that.
Damn.
Man.
Okay.
Of course, I mean, for this ties into my nieces, you know what I'm saying? Because they the ones, you know, that put me on The Incredibles, and then I watched.
Mark love the kids.
I watched it or whatever, and the movie was dope. Like The Incredibles, you know, was really like, it was good. I like, man, this ain't just some little kid movie. This shit was all right. Yeah. So obviously that leads up to Incredibles 2. Now, Incredibles 2 was not as good as The Incredibles, right? But it led up to that. You got to understand, you know, my nieces called me, Uncle Mark, we got to be at the movies this Saturday. You know, no questions asked. It's niece's day. I hope you got money because, you know, we going to go to the movies. Then we go into the mall. Then we go and get something to eat. And, you know, they planning my day for me. Like I ain't had nothing to do on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the movie's concerned, I'm like with The Incredibles, man, it was just like it was like a kid action movie, but it was well written. You know, you kind of see how the villain kind of came up and was just like, yo, you know, like he was like the little dude, you know, trying to be a superhero, but he wasn't. And, you know, it was just like, yo, Mr. Incredible's like, yo, get out my life, man, you young boy, whatever, right? So then he became the villain. You know, then he became the villain or whatever, right? And then when he became the villain, he got smart. He knew he was killing all these superheroes or whatever, but then they found a way to beat him in the end, you know. And then number two, like I said, it was okay, but I would just say, you know, just everything leading up to going to see that movie probably did it for me, you know. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, you know, and I was seeing this online, and I'm just like, man, it's definitely, you know, some creepers, you know, I mean, on the internet, because I'm just like, yo, y'all looking at Elastigirl a little too hard. You know, personally,
I saw that myth. Yeah,
that was a little creepy to me. But I'm gonna tell you one more thing, you know, about The Incredibles, which I loved. Right after The Incredibles, right, and it just seemed like maybe a couple years after, when Halloween parties would pop up, yo, like chicks walking in there with the Incredible suit, looking kind of incredible. I was with it. I was with that shit. You know,
and there you have it.
Yeah,
there you have it. I know it was coming.
That's it.
I know it was coming.
Yo, but listen, man. But listen, you can also get in trouble for this because I hollered at Miss Incredible, right? And then the other Miss Incredible, I tried to holler at. Well, didn't I see you talking to Miss Incredible? I'm like, oh, I was. My bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, you get a little trouble with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mark. Typical Mark.
There you go.
Yeah.
So my second one was the Underworld series. All right. I thought that the Underworld series was probably one of the most original takes on a vampire movie. I love vampire flicks. I love werewolf flicks. I love movies like that. And I thought that the Underworld series was probably one of the most authentic and most original type of movies, because that was the first movie that you ever, and think about going back years and years, vampire movies are coming out since inception, right? Since we can remember, back in like early 1920s and 30s, you had vampire movies, right? But this was the first time that you had a vampire movie where they took the vampire species and the werewolf species and kind of intertwined, like they were cousins, and they had a common with Michael Corvus, and he was the first hybrid where he was a vampire / lichen. You know what I mean? I thought that concept was probably the dopest concept that you could have for like a vampire type of movie or like a werewolf type of movie, because that was the first time you had two different species coming together. They created a hybrid, even to the point where you can see the features of the vampire and the lichen in one person. You know what I mean? In one body. And you got to keep in mind, this movie was really a low budget movie. So for them to even pull that off, and the writer actually was one of the stars. If you guys saw that movie, he was the black guy that played the lichen. He was one that like talking like real heavy. He was the writer and the creator of those characters and that storyline. And I thought that part 2 was just as good, because now you're starting to get into the lore of their feud for years. So I love movies like that. I thought that part 1, part 2, and part 3 were probably one of the best trilogies, if you will, when it comes down to like a vampire flick, lichen flick. And Underworld to me was one of my top. I'll watch it anytime, any day of the week. That's my go-to.
There you go.
So for the last one we got, for our last ones, and I know it's going back to Stacks. So Stacks, your top three, your round out your top three was the Beverly Hills Cop. So another classic. You know, this one Eddie Murphy was riding high. Everything he touched was golden. So what made you pick Beverly Hills Cop, man?
Well, you just said it. That's at the time that Eddie Murphy was at his height. You know, you got you had Raw, you had Delirious, and then you started seeing him in these movies. And Eddie Murphy has a really good way of, he's able to be really funny while playing a semi-serious type role. And I think they had really good plots in all three. The first one was his best friend had gotten killed in Beverly Hills, and he was a cop out of Detroit. So he went on vacation to stay out there, you know, to help solve that case. And he met up with the two cops, and they became very good friends. And in part two, being that he became good friends with them, he came out there and helped them with discover who the alphabet killer was. And they had a little bit of a hiatus. I think it was a 6 or 7 year gap before they made Beverly Hills 3, and Beverly Hill Cop 3, and that's when they had that one guy that he was a dirty cop, and he was making counterfeit bills and shit like that. So Eddie Murphy went out there and he helped them solve that as well. So really good plots. I think all three in a row, really good plots. Eddie Murphy did a really good job in all three of those movies. I think that one is to conclusion. I wouldn't want to see a Beverly Hills Cop 4. Right. But Eddie Murphy and his skills as far as an actor and being funny, while at the same time playing a serious role, I think that's a testament to his skills as an actor. But Beverly Hills Cop, I can watch them three back to back. That's one of those series that I really enjoy, and I still enjoy today.
Absolutely. So Mark, your last one to round out your top three, you had Creed as your last one.
Yeah.
And again, no brainer, you know, that you got Creed, of course.
Yeah, but we knew that. Yeah, we guessed that one too.
We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, y'all kind of figured that. But let me start off by saying Philly all day. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Start with that there, right? No, but you know, right? I'm gonna say like this, right? One thing I liked about Creed, it kind of gave a little bit of the essence of my city, you know, where it's gritty, it's tough, but it's some good things that can come out of that place. It's some good people that come out of that place, right? So I like that. I like, you know, just how, you know, they were in Max's, right? I mean, Max's famous cheesesteak spot, but I mean, it's like in the middle of the hood. You know what I'm saying? This is not really a place that you go at night and you're not with anyone from Philly. That's just not a good look right there. But I'm just saying it kind of gave the essence. You've seen the dirt bike culture in there. You know, I mean, this is what we do. RIP dirt bike rail, one of the best to do it in the universe on two wheels. And then you had Creed, and then you look how the story set up, right? You know, because I didn't think Rocky could really go anywhere after, you know, they did 6 Rockies. I'm just like, I didn't even think, you know, they can even make this move. But then they tied the story together where Creed had a baby Apollo Creed had a baby out of wedlock, ended up being Michael B. Jordan. They showed how he bounced around to these group homes, and Felicia Rashad played Apollo Creed's wife, you know, in her later years or whatever, and she took him in, and he was just like, listen, you know, he had this fight thing in him, and then he went and sought Rocky Balboa out to become a fighter, right? And to train, he had to train in Philadelphia really to tap into what type of fighter he needed to be. So you love that, and I love the first movie, right? The second one was good, not as good as the first, but obviously here's the storyline with the second one. They bring in Ivan Drago's son, and anybody who loved Rocky IV was going to, you know, they were going to love Creed 2 because, I mean, you're bringing in Ivan Drago's son, and it's like he kind of tells his story like, listen, you know, when you're not winning, you know, they spit on you, they look, you know what I mean, they look down on you, you know what I'm saying, like you're nothing, right? Because I'm like, you know, when Drago was coming up, it's like either you a champion or you nothing. Right. And they showed really his plight of what happened to him and what his son was trying to become. And I just thought the dramatics of it was put together right. A lot of things tied together, and it will be a Creed 3. That film already got green lit. I do not know what the plot is. I know former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder wanted to play Clubber Lang's son, for Creed 3.
Wow.
Well, him losing to Tyson Fury, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm saying it will be a Creed 3. I just don't know what it's going to be about.
Good deal. So my last one that I selected to round out mine, I actually went with Blade, the Blade series. Again,
now, we figured that.
Yo, anybody who knows me knows that Wesley Snipes is one of my favorite actors, even at my number one actor, honestly. And I felt like the Blade trilogy, and I'll go back. I think Blade 1, it came out in 98. Blade 1 set the tone for Marvel moving forward. Even when you think about X-Men, when you think about the MCU today, I don't think they give enough credit to what Blade done. Wesley Snipes and Blade did, because
Marvel was kind of dead in the water.
Right, Marvel was definitely dead in the water, because Blade came out on New Line Cinema. This was before they even had Marvel Studios or Fox even had the whole thing with X-Men. When Blade came out, it was a Marvel property where Marvel was like really dead. You know what I mean? And before then, the movies that they dropped in the 80s and the early 90s, they were duds. They dropped a Fantastic Four movie that they really never saw the light of day because it was garbage. They dropped a Captain America movie that was kind of cheesy. They dropped the Punisher movie with the dude that played Ivan Drago. He was the Punisher. So they dropped a lot of duds in the late 80s, early 90s. And then Blade comes out. You know what I mean? It was gritty. It was still a Marvel character, a very prominent black character in Marvel comics as well. And if you think about it, Indiana Jones was a good classic. Absolutely, Scott. If you really think about Wesley Snipes during that time, he was still touching, everything he was touching was still good, right? And now you put him in a superhero flick where he transcended a culture of really superhero movies, if you will, because DC was coming out with Supermans all over the place. They were coming out with every Batman you could think of, and they were like hit or miss.
Way too many of those.
Way too many of those.
Way too many. Way too many.
Way too many. And Marvel was kind of like just up in the air what they were going to do, because they were losing all their properties. They were losing all of their assets. Spider-Man with the Sony, X-Men with the Fox, and Iron Man and all these other properties were just kind of in limbo. So when Blade came out, it did so well that they had to start reconsidering, these superhero flicks, and it kind of catapulted X-Men films, because X-Men films came out 2 years later. You know what I mean? So it was like, I don't think Blade and Wesley Snipes get enough credit for it, but he kind of sparked the evolution or the revolution around Marvel, Marvel flicks and superhero flicks as we know today in the Marvel universe. Part 2 to me was just as good as part 1. Part 1 was really good. Part 2 was outstanding because of the storyline for part 2. And I think that part 3, because of some issues that Wesley had with the director, rumor is that he choked the director out on set and all that stuff. So there was some different things going on there, some internal things going on. So it wasn't that great. But if I go back and you look at 1 and look at 2, phenomenal movies. They came out 98. I think the other one came out like in 2001, 2002. But phenomenal movies, phenomenal series. Wesley Snipes still a legend. So that wraps up our top 3 each for the sequels. So now we're going to smoothly transition, because Becca and Tina are going to talk about, they're going to lead this conversation with regards to movies that should not be touched. So we all know there are certain classics out there that you can't touch it. The story has been told. There's no need to go back and redo it. That's not even a reason to reboot it. It's just let it be what it is. Let it stay in that capsule so we can enjoy when we want to, and just leave it at that. And so, Becca, I'm going to kick it to you first, because I know we were kind of talking back and forth as to which one would be a good one. I don't know how that happened. Excuse me, I'm getting like a lot of technical difficulties, some weird stuff popping up right now. There we go.
Now, Tina.
So, Becca, I'm going to flip it to you, because one of the ones you told me earlier that I agree with you passionately, and that was the legend of the last.
Good old Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy.
Becca said you should never touch The Last Dragon. Becca,
never. Let me lean in and get close. Leave this movie alone. Although Timac looks the exact same, let's just recognize that he looks the exact same. This movie doesn't need to be done over. What is the rest? I mean, some people were saying that they want to see what happens now the two of them are together and all of that stuff. But why? We don't need another Last Dragon. We don't need a kid to be involved for him to mentor. I've heard that idea being thrown out as well. We don't need to figure out what happens to him and his lady. Do they actually get married? Does she still continue to do the stuff? We don't care what happens to Eddie Arcade. Like, we don't care. Like, we don't care. We don't want to see nothing about Kew Gardens. Leave the movie alone. Leave the movie alone. This movie, to me, is my favorite movie of all time. I've literally seen this movie hundreds of times. Me and a friend of mine, her in high school, her favorite movie happened to be Rocky. So we had a bet who could see their favorite movie the most times by the end of that year. And I think she might have won. But we both sat and watched this movie over and over and over again. Please do not touch The Last Dragon. And if it's made over, I'm going to be the one that's going to be extremely critical of it, because the first one was so perfect. It was so perfect to me. It was not anything wrong with the first one at all.
Hey, Rebecca, really quick though, man. I absolutely agree with everything you're saying. But I think somebody I just got a feeling somebody go fuck with it, man, and try to. I think somebody go at least try to do. I don't think they're gonna do a sequel, but I think somebody gonna try to fucking remake this movie. It's gonna piss all of us off, man.
They tried it.
They damn sure tried. They definitely talked about it, and he was open to it, and he's still in shape, and he still does martial arts.
He was doing martial arts before the movie.
But they had a script. It wasn't for him. The script wasn't going to be for him. It was going to be a reboot. They were going to do a reboot of The Last Dragon, and they were going to cast Chris Brown and Rihanna at that time.
Yes, they was.
No.
Yes, they was.
No. Fuck that.
It was
all over social media. It was a whole vote that who should play Vanity, and everybody did say Rihanna because she had that exotic look.
They were going to do it. They were going to do it. But they
still no.
It was actually announced. Now, why it didn't happen, I don't know. But yes.
Because it didn't happen because of the Chris Brown thing kicked off during that time as well, when they had that situation. But it was honestly they had a script and everything in I think in pre-production and all of that. They were like in early stages for it. So they were going to do a Last Dragon reboot.
Hey, I got a question though. I think we all can agree we don't want to see this rebooted, right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask y'all this though: if they were, which we don't want them to do, who would be a good show enough?
Busta Rhymes.
That's it.
Hey, yo!
I don't know. But Busta's older now. You know what I'm saying? They probably want to go younger. I don't know who.
I never thought of it.
In The Last Dragon,
Joe Enough was old.
He looked older than
Joe Enough was old. Busta got to lose some more weight. If Busta can get down by 30 or 40 more pounds, he can put a show enough.
He's perfect show enough. The actor that played Show Enough, what's his name? I want to say Julius. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Julius Carey, I think was his name. Okay. He was already an older man when he played that part, but he was just fit, so he was able to do it. Busta lost a lot of weight, so he's kind of he's not as big as he used to be. Right. But if you ask me, it's the same person. I think if they were to even do like, I don't know, a parody of some sort to this movie, or even like a one quick little 30-minute, homage to it, Busta would have to be Show Enough. It would be nobody else that I can think of to play that part. Like, who else is gonna be Mufasa but James Earl Jones? Nobody.
The thing is, but Busta played him in the video. I mean, it was his video, and he looked just like him. You know what I'm saying? That was like a while ago, but so he definitely did pull it off in his video. You know, for a while ago. Yeah.
Busta Rhymes is my only choice. Like, who would be like for me? Who would be? Okay, Tamar can play himself, right? Busta could be Show Enough. Who would be the other chick? Maybe Tiana Taylor.
Tiana Taylor would play who? Vanity?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She'd be too young for Tom-Mac. You got to go a little bit older.
Oh yeah. Well, he I don't know if he would still be who.
No, because Tom-Mac still looks young.
Yeah, but
he looks older than he did in the movie, but he still looks really good for his age. That he could go back and play that same part.
Is Sanaa Lathan too old to be Vanity? Is Sanaa Lathan too old to be Vanity?
Sanaa Lathan should not be that part.
Because if you go in Tom-Mac, you can't go Sanaa.
No.
Her look,
Sanaa Lathan, or you can go Nia Long.
She got the swag to play Vanity.
Yeah, but Hollywood always cast young. It's just what they do.
We need somebody with some sexiness. We need somebody who's able to do the moves. We found my place. Finally found my place. No, we need somebody that can go to seventh heaven. We need somebody that can go to seventh heaven. I can only think of Tiana. I can't think of nobody else.
Well, it would still be Rihanna. It would still be Rihanna.
You would have to go Rihanna. You would have to go Rihanna, but you can't go Tom-Mac. You can't go Tom-Mac and Rihanna. You have to recast Tom-Mac. You have to go somewhere else with that.
No, he has to play himself.
They probably already thought of this, and somebody is on standby. Probably look something like him. Right. Can act. We just don't know who it is.
I know who could play him. I just don't know his name.
Who? Tom-Mac?
Yes. The boy from Black Lightning. Who got his spine taken out, his back. Y'all never watched Black Lightning?
Black Lightning. I'm trying to think of the actor that you're talking about.
No,
he's a young guy.
I heard it's a good show though.
He got in Black Lightning. He got killed and he got brought back. He got paralyzed or something like that. And they gave him this metal spine. And he is gorgeous.
No.
Yes, he can.
No, Tina B. No. You talking about Tobias?
And he already could fight. So you got to see him in Black Lightning. He's fire.
You talking about Khalil?
Yes.
No, he's a ginger, right? He's a ginger. Oh, is he albino? No, I think he's a ginger.
No, not the albino guy. The young boy. I forgot his name, but
Tobias?
Yeah. No, Tobias is the albino one.
Okay, so Tobias is the one that took out Khalil's spine.
Yes.
So you talking about Khalil?
Yes. Heck, if you watch Black Lightning, see how he fight, because he could fight his butt off in that movie.
Maybe. I'm looking at a picture. Maybe.
Get your phone and look at him in Black Lightning.
I think who can find somebody. Tyler Perry can find him. Tyler Perry will find the right person.
Tyler Perry's going to use somebody we don't know.
Exactly.
Put a wig on him.
Yeah.
No, Tyler. And listen, let me say something, please. This is. I'm sorry. I have an unpopular opinion that's about to come out. So here's a disclaimer. We gotta stop letting Tyler Perry do all the black movies. We can't, because if he puts a horrible wig on Show Enough, I'm fighting somebody.
Yeah, that would be bad.
We can't let Tyler Perry do all the black movies. We gotta let somebody else do them.
Tyler Perry. My wife always said Tyler Perry has he has a look that he goes for in his casting. They can't act worth the lick. They're no actor at all. And
he uses the same 10 actors in every movie and every show.
Y'all need to look that boy up in Black Lightning. And in Black Lightning, he could do every type and form of karate.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and maybe, but I would still want to see Tom-Mac just because he's able to do it, and he still looks.
Probably be his daddy.
He still looks good.
They're not casting Tom-Mac. Tom-Mac last role was when he got beat up by Dwayne Wade in a different world. When he tried to rape Freddie. When Tom-Mac tried to rape Freddie, I was like, yo, what are you doing, man? And he got scratched by Dwayne Wade, man. So all I'm saying is, Todd Mack.
Hey, Deion Cole, hey, that's a good damn point right there by Sky.
Deion Cole as shown
Deion Cole from Black. Yeah, Deion Cole is crazy. He could play. That's a good one. He could play on show.
He might not have the karate, but
can he do this? Can he like?
I think he can. I think he can.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, what's that? He did that thing like this. His fingers was back like this or some shit. Showing up.
When he had the glow.
He
told,
he told.
Listen, I love that movie.
He told.
I wrote that movie.
I got some beer for your ass in these hands. He said, yo.
Yeah, nigga, please.
I have a Kiss My Converse shirt. When I have a Showing Up t-shirt, when I say I love this movie, it is very hard for me to watch this movie without reciting every single word. Yeah. I mean, every single word, the songs, the dance moves. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't vanity when I was watching this movie. Can you teach me some moves? Like, I love this movie.
Everybody has a movie like that too. Everybody has a movie like that.
Did the white dude get killed in that movie, or he's still alive?
Who? His mother?
The old dude that dated that girl with the annoying voice.
Yeah, they all alive. It just the one that plays Sure Enough, he's the only one that passed away. Top Mac.
So the girl with the little voice,
Bruce Leroy.
The white girl who is supposed to be the music artist, she could
Faith. Yeah,
she could be played by
Eddie Arcadian girlfriend.
What's her name? Lady Gaga.
No. She could the girl, the Kew Gardens girl, could be played by.
Yeah, she from Kew Gardens like a motherfucker.
She could be played by Amy Schumacher. Is that her name?
Amy Shoemaker.
Amy,
yeah. I know about it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Why
was I thinking about Winehouse real quick?
The guy
Danny DeVito is still alive, right?
Who?
He is.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, he's still
alive. Is he still alive? Because he could be Eddie Arcadian.
He old though. You might as well go and get the original Eddie Arcadian.
Joe Pesci, maybe.
Joe Pesci.
Pesci old as hell too, though. The guy that played Bruce Leroy's brother, he passed away too. So
did he?
Yeah,
Richie. Richie
Greer. Richie. Yep.
His name is Leo. Yeah.
So the other movie that Becca felt passionate about, and Tina didn't like this one, and it was Above the Rim.
No, I said I agree.
Please don't do this movie over.
I agree.
Don't do this movie over. It was fine.
Mark loved Above the Rim, so Mark can definitely see a part 2.
Nah. Yeah, I mean, You know,
they're gonna show a continuation of when now Marlon takes over.
No, you gotta leave that where you gotta leave that where it's at, because it was like some iconic characters in that movie, and to recreate that, you know what I'm saying? You know, Shepard. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, he was beating Dwayne Martin's ass in basketball with corduroys on or whatever.
He's still alive.
Yeah, but you don't want Leon playing. You don't want him doing that. No. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I watch reality TV. He has a daughter with Cynthia from Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah,
he still looks young.
Leon.
Leon still looks young as hell.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I understand that part. I'm just saying,
ladies love Leon.
You know, like it's scenes in that movie that you can go back to and just like, you can laugh, you can watch. I'm like, I mean, can y'all guys, now 20-something years later, recreate those same scenes? Avon Barksdale, you know what I mean, pulling out the gun on the court, like, nah, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
If they do a continuation, he's gonna be a basketball coach.
Probably.
Most likely. I don't want to see Leon Wood Harris. Rest in peace, Tupac. And Birdie ain't in it. You know what I'm saying?
I like Wood Harris. I like Wood Harris.
Think about it.
Mark, you hit the nail. One of the biggest reasons they shouldn't do this movie over is because Birdie got killed. and Tupac's not alive no more. And I don't think that people really give Tupac the respect that he deserves as an actor.
I'm gonna go a step further, man. Listen, they recreated the Above the Rim movie in Jeezy's video, you know what I'm saying, with Lil Wayne. And I didn't like that video because they try to recreate Above the Rim.
Right.
Ballin' was my hit. I played it a gazillion times in the car, but I didn't like the video at all. I'm just like, no, you don't mess with Above the Rim. You leave it where it is. You know what I mean? No Weezy, no.
There's nothing better than Birdie than Tupac's character. You just can't top Shep coming with the corduroys and just all day long. When you can't bring Motar back because Motar got killed by the cop. Yeah, I mean, leave it alone. Leave fucking Above the Rim alone. They need to leave it alone.
And you know, if they cast Marlon back in something, his brother gonna be in it.
Listen,
that's not true.
You gotta understand.
Not always,
Tina. They made video memes about that basketball scene with Leon and Dwayne Martin, right? They were just like, yo, when you're playing on, when you're playing on All-Star level on NBA 2K, this is what it looked like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was busting Dwayne Martin ass. I'm just like, yo, we still watch that scene today on memes. So no. You know what I'm saying? No, leave it alone.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I might be the only one here, so don't hit me for it, don't throw jabs at me. But looking at Above the Rim today, that movie didn't age well. I'm gonna be honest. I think the acting was really pretty bad in that movie. I think that the storyline was kind of cheesy. Looking at it today, and I'm a basketball savant.
He's a ball player.
Yeah, I mean,
it's considered a classic. So
it's definitely a hood classic. But looking at it today, I don't think it aged really well. I'm be honest. Leon didn't do it. I think Leon was very mediocre acting in that movie. He barely talked. He was acting really weird the entire movie. Ladies love
that was acting. That was acting.
Ladies love Leon, so they take up for Leon, no matter if he wear corduroys and a turtleneck playing ball.
He was supposed to be the corny brother.
I know.
Get off me! He
was over there shooting.
Look,
no. He was like that jump shot.
He was fighting air.
Oh my god! And how could we forget Bernie Mac?
Yeah.
Baby.
That's another reason why you leave it alone.
Hey, yo, Sean.
He probably would have been clean. No, but he got killed.
He was like, nah, can't do it.
Yo, Flip was a baller before the drugs or whatever took over. But it's apparent that Flip and Shep ran shit when they was playing ball in high school.
It did. And damn Birdie, like, damn, what bad thing what happened to Flip? That damn Birdie, man, got flipped, man.
Goddamn Birdie.
All the flip under his mouth.
Yeah, but leave that alone.
So Becca had another one. New Jack City. The movie that I still think Wesley should have won an Oscar for. Wesley should have won an Oscar for.
You don't touch that. You do not touch fucking New Jack City under no fucking fuck. Hey yo, shout out to Wesley fucking Snipes, who's probably one of the most underrated. I wouldn't say underrated. He don't get the credit that he deserves as a fucking actor over the last fucking 30, 40 years for the shit that he's done. And I know y'all don't want to talk about Coming to America too, but Wesley stole the show in that fucking movie to me.
Stole it.
I would just say that.
That was his movie.
Wesley was my guy. And like I told you earlier. And like I told you, Sean, one of the movies I wanted, my honorable mention for one of my best trilogies, Expendables. He was good in that shit as well. He was very good in both of those movies.
Yes.
Wesley Snipes. Hey, but in particular, as far as New Jack City, you got Scotty played by fucking Ice. You got Ice. You got fucking Chris Rock. That was probably the one that broke him out into superstardom, playing the fucking crackhead Pookie. Man, I will boycott if they fucking try to redo or reboot or make a sequel. I'm boycotting. I'm sorry, y'all.
Well, I mean, what would
they
they
were
do?
talk,
Because
there was talks about it.
It's
it was
gonna
talks
take
about
over from the
It was.
man who killed him at the courthouse.
It was talks about it. You know, I don't know.
What would the continuation be though?
But I don't know.
That a new drug dealer comes into play?
No, it might not be a continuation. It might just be a whole reboot with a new cast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
they making a new movie.
Still alive and he's still young.
Another movie, another story, same shit.
The one who played it, the one who said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" His best friend.
Oh, yo,
he's not a man. He's dead. He's G Money.
Yeah, he's dead.
G Money.
No.
As far as the other man is dead in real life. Like,
yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
No, he's dead. Like he's with
Ray Rahim is dead. He is.
No, not
Bill Nunn. Yeah, he died. Oh, you talking about? Yeah, you talking about G Money? He's alive.
He's alive.
G Money's alive.
But he's in the Tyler Perry Cobwebs. You know, he's doing them shits. He's doing
if he was back in this one, that would bring him back out of that Tyler Perry.
They were talking about doing a different. They were going to make it seem as if he survived. Like he survived the shot. That was
and the fall.
And the fall. That was the beginning.
Fuck that.
It was years ago.
That would be trash.
They was going to make it seem as if he survived the fall.
Hey, we still think Ghost is alive, so
they don't work in another. Ghost is alive.
We all don't think he's still alive.
Yo, you and Sean.
Hey, listen, wait a minute. Ghost took the same fall. You know what I mean? And all right, well, Nino's dead, but Ghost is alive. They took the same fall. Fuck out of here. How about that?
Ghost is alive. Ghost didn't fall. Hey, Mark, watch your mouth, Mark. Ghost didn't fall as far as Nino Brown did. Nino Brown fell. He fell like he really fell.
All right. So 7 stories to 5. 7 stories to 5. I got you. All right, we survived the 5 stories.
He felt like this.
Right. He felt
I knew Tina fucking Sean was going to do this shit. He's fucking dead, okay? Deal with it.
He's not dead.
He's not dead. You'll see.
He took Ghost gun and that was empty.
That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
You know.
But real talk though, New Jack City was probably a movie that was ahead of its time based on the way it was set up. Although it was set up in the 80s during the crack era. Bart, you think about it. You can play New Jack City today and it would be fresh and pristine with regards to how it was played back in the late 80s. You know what I mean? Because everything you see, Snowfall, that's an offspring. It's like an offspring of New Jack City. You know what I mean? You see all of these other
they're just telling stories from back then. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what it was.
That's what I'm saying. New Jack City aged well. You can plot New Jack City in today as a movie, and it aged well. Above the Rim did not age very well. New Jack City aged well.
New Jack City, first thing you have to thank Wesley Snipes because he played such a great villain. Such a great villain. And playing a bad guy isn't the easiest thing, you know. Like
not a bad guy that's likable. Playing a bad guy that's likable is difficult.
But when you hear actors and they're talking about like the roles they might have played and they played like a real like bad guy or whatever, and you hear them talk about it, you know what I mean? They all, you know, a lot of them say like that wasn't really easy to do. Like I had to kind of decompress.
Right.
Well, listen, Omari Hardwick could damn sure be in New Jack City.
I can see that.
Damn, I can see that.
I can see that.
Well,
New Jack City was based.
Omari Hardwick has to be alive somewhere, right?
Yeah. New Jack City was based loosely off of what's his old boy name? The flashy guy. He was the one in his 60s and 70s. He was the what's his name, Mark? The flashy guy. Omar. You were good until you played his character.
Nicky Barnes. Yeah, I mean Nicky Barnes.
Nicky Barnes. New Jack City was based loosely off of Nicky Barnes. So Nino was supposed to be Nicky Barnes in that movie. So
I
I think it was a good movie. You can't make a part 2 to that. I think it's done. The story is done. Classic. And then you got Keith Sweat in there. At the anytime you get Keith Sweat playing at your wedding, then you go telling me no again at the wedding. What more do you want? And he started winding up. Keith Sweat was like, yo, at the wedding. How you go? So Becca, you about to get married in a couple of weeks. Imagine y'all booked Keith Sweat to play There You Go Telling Me No Again as your first dance. Like, yo, how?
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I'm here for it. You play Keith Sweat as your first dance, then you go telling me no again. Like how dare
you might as well play Throw Baby.
Right.
They're gonna have Mario in there doing that part.
Yeah, please don't. So Becca, what is another movie that you feel that should not have a sequel? Like the story is closed, there's nowhere to go with it. Don't redo it. What you think else is out there?
Harlem Nights.
Talked about it, yes.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights.
Yeah, they blew up everybody.
Let me lean in again. Leave Harlem Nights alone. Don't do it. Arsenio already said that they were gonna do it prior to Charlie Murphy's death. After he died, they never thought about doing it again. It was mentioned a small conversation, but once he passed, Eddie never mentioned it again.
So many people dead from that movie too.
A lot.
Yeah.
Red Fox.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Della Reese dead too, right?
Yeah.
Della Reese.
Is she?
Della Reese. Yeah, she passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would need a whole new cast.
Yeah.
That's a fucking classic. Leave that shit alone.
Yeah, how about no?
I don't think you can recast those guys, those personalities.
No.
I don't think you can recast it. You know, it's crazy because Harlem Nights did not get good ratings as a movie. It was considered a dud. It was considered a really bad movie by ratings on ratings purpose. But
so was Last Dragon.
How about that? Not all people.
Another one of them ahead of its time movies.
Yeah.
Another one of the movies that's probably ahead of its time, maybe.
No, I don't want to hear ratings from people who ain't my people. Sorry, not on our movies.
I don't know.
I'm good. I'm good on that.
Where do y'all rank Harlem Nights though? Where do you rank Harlem Nights? If you could rank it, would you put it in the top 5? Would you put it in your top 10? Where would you rank Harlem Nights though?
No, but I think it's a good movie. It's just maybe not that high. I still think it's good. I mean, when it come on, I still watch it.
It might be in top 20. Top 20.
Yeah.
If I'm watching some movies, if I'm just watching movies over a week, and it's in my top 10 because of the, historical cultural aspect of it.
So let me repurpose my question then. With all the talent,
that's right, Kyle. Chambers brothers out of Detroit.
All the talent that was in that movie. You got Eddie, you got Richard, you got Red, you got who else you had? You had Harrison. You had some talent. Arsenio Hall.
So basically, there was a lineup of comedians. So if they redid it, it would be another lineup of comedians. Dave Chappelle has got to be in it.
But I guess my question is, with that lineup during that time, these guys were like considered like the pantheon of comedy and movie and shows, right? At that time, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the movie suffered from them not living up to the names on that roster? That's an all-star roster. Eddie was in his prime. Richard Pryor was considered one of the best of all time at that time because that was on the back half of his career, and he was considered the best.
At time, he probably was the GOAT as far as he was considered probably the GOAT as far as comedians at that time.
That time.
Yeah, and I think the cast. The reason why Harlem Nights is just outside of it being a good movie, I think the cast itself is the reason why it's for the culture. I think the reason why we keep that movie, the reason why we keep that movie in conversation is because of the cast, because it really was. And although some people will disagree, if you look at Coming to America, it had a lot of names in it. it had a lot of people in it. So a lot of people were like, they liked Coming to America because of how many how many names was in it. So I think the reason why we keep Harlem Nights in remembrance is because of the cast. Outside of it just being a really good movie, it may not be in the top 10, maybe top 20, but it really is a good underlying good movie. Like for me, I think I'm not even sure if this is a good comparison, but I'm just thinking of somewhat of the way that the movies look. Like I like Idlewild. I thought Idlewild was a good movie as well, but some people's like, no, it's corny, it was a musical. But if you look at how that movie was formed, I thought it was to me it's a really good movie, and plus I just like the cast. Right. So it makes somewhat of the sense. It may not be a good movie for everybody, but just the cast alone might make you keep watching it.
Yeah, so let's say they got a lot of dead people in that movie, bro. People that are dead.
They actually recasted that movie. Let's say Eddie Murphy does do it. Who would be the comedians? I already said Dave Chappelle.
You got absolutely. Chris Rock got to be in there.
Chris Rock got to be in there. I think you got to go Martin. Martin Lawrence got to be in there.
Yes, maybe only picking older.
Maybe Tracy Morgan. Maybe
Lil Duval. Maybe
you know some up and comers.
I think
definitely
Chris Rock will be in it too.
You better get Chris as crazy.
Like a movie, like if they were recasting, they'd probably be like, all right, wait a minute. Well, who's the black guys from Saturday Night Live now? You know what I mean? Like Jay Farrell, Kenan Thompson. They would work those guys in. You know what I'm saying? Because they're young. You know what I mean? They're young
and
girls.
they may just they may just do it over if they decided to and pick young comedians like the Instagram comedians, and they pick some of those.
Yeah, DC Young Fly. You know what I mean? Guys like that.
DC, right? The whole
I can see DC Young Fly though.
Well, shoot, they were thinking about doing Last Friday. It was supposed to be him and Ice Cube.
Well, how you can't have Chris Tucker and DC Young Fly.
No, but I mean, when they were thinking about doing Last Friday, it was him and Ice Cube's son. They were thinking about centering the movie around those guys at first, right? I don't know where
but they're perfect lookalikes, like Ice Cube.
Absolutely, Kyle. That's a good comment. Absolutely. But I think, real quick, I want to go on Kyle's comment because we talked about this today, Sean.
Yeah.
As the reason why Eddie got drafted in Dreamgirls, and I'm gonna let Sean talk about why Eddie Murphy didn't get that Best Supporting actor, which he should have gotten that year for Dreamgirls. We talked about that earlier today.
Yep, Eddie, because we were talking about this earlier today. We were trying to put together the template for tonight, but Eddie actually should have won it that year. The thing that hurt Eddie was the fact that Eddie ended up getting the Razzies Award, that during that time as well, where they consider Eddie the worst actor of I think like the decade during that time, because he was taking on some bad roles. He took the Pluto Nash role. He took the he was a Norbit role. And there was some other roles.
I'm mad at Dr. Dolittle.
And Dr. Dolittle roles. And
I don't know, people like Dr. Dolittle. Not so much me, but I mean, for that made it like a killing at the box office.
To his standards, the Razzies, and he even said in an interview earlier this week that hurt him because the Razzies Award, when they gave it to him as the worst actor of the decade, they were taking into account these roles that he was taking. They weren't taking into account his body of work and how he was acting. Because if you go back and watch some of those movies, it wasn't he was a bad actor. It was just a bad role that he took. And he was trying to broaden himself out a little bit more. And he said that's why he stopped making movies for such a long time, because that when they gave him that award, that kind of messed him up. So you got to keep in mind, when he did Dreamgirls, he was phenomenal in Dreamgirls. Phenomenal.
Jimmy Thunder Early, that was his best role as a serious.
Jimmy Got.
That was the best role I've seen him play in a movie. I'm sorry, that was the best role I ever seen him play in a movie.
Because Stacks, he was actually singing for real. He was singing for real. He was.
he got his one-hit wonder.
Ass off. Right? Yeah. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a good album. Though.
I got to step into the bad side.
That's my joint. You better sing, cousin.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I mean, bro, you talking about remakes, and this is another movie that shouldn't be touched at all, but they really are. Definitely, it's in the works to be touched, and that's Scarface. Yeah, I mean, you leave Scarface alone. Yeah, I'm saying you talking cocaine cowboys, you talking all of that, all this shit that really happened. Yeah, I'm saying right in Miami, they're going to redo it and shoot it in L.A. Yeah, I'm saying, and they're going to Scarface that. That's such a bad idea and a bad decision. I personally will not see it. You know, you don't touch Scarface. Scarface is a fucking cult classic. You know what I'm saying? I watch that shit all the time when it come on. Don't touch it.
Now you can't touch Scarface.
There's a movie that they can do a sequel to, but I don't think they should. And
hold on, Kyle, you don't like Scarface? Good grief! Somebody get Kyle online.
Hey Kyle,
somebody get Kyle online.
Hey there.
See what he said. I'm gonna say Juice because the way it ended, you got the juice now.
Yeah, you got the juice now.
We don't know what happened. We don't know if Q got blamed for all the murders. We don't know.
Right.
That it could be a sequel, but I would hope that they would not.
Yet another phenomenal acting job by Tupac.
Yeah.
Another phenomenal acting job by Tupac.
Bishop was crazy. Bishop.
Because I know when everybody saw the end, that was dope. Okay, you got the juice now. And everybody was like, okay, what happened? What? Yeah. Is he gonna get blamed for this shit?
But I'm gonna say like this. I think some of those
everybody saw him let go. He didn't really let go, but everybody saw when Bishop went over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit.
But you know what though? A lot of them hood classics probably won't get touched. It's really, I'm saying, you know, mainstream stuff that gets touched. You know, so I mean, the hood classics are right where they're supposed to be, and you can go back and enjoy them without them being touched. But but some of those classics though, they do get touched sometimes, and it's just like, man, I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? You know, new Superfly? Let me tell you something, right?
I never watched it.
I couldn't appreciate the new Superfly. I actually went to see that in the movies, right? And I hated it, right? But when it was just that late night, you coming home from wherever you coming home from, it's like 3 a.m. or some shit. And it's on, you know what I mean? For you watch it, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. When you watch it just from TV or whatever, right? But like if you look at it like you're actually gonna see it like a good movie, then it's terrible. But it's like something that, you know, if it has no build up and you don't have no expectations, it's pretty good.
Right.
It was good. I'd like Superfly.
I didn't have no desire to watch it.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, and I understand why. You know what I'm saying?
I saw the previews. I'm like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it first came out. It took some time, and I was like, let me just see what this is about, because I have heard so many people say that it was good. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't horrible. It's not like, you gotta see that movie. But it wasn't horrible.
Right. But I'm gonna tell you, right? If you do end up watching the thing that's gonna piss you off is the car chase scene, which looked like it was straight out of TV. It's supposed to be a movie, and that shit looked garbage as hell. You know what I'm saying? No, you do not touch Goodfellas, and you do not touch Casino. Casino is my favorite movie of all fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
It's a classic.
Somebody get Kyle on the line.
Do he want to? Kyle, you want to get on?
This is the same guy who didn't like Scarface. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to get on here. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have to embarrass himself like that. He cool.
No, he's good.
I promise you this, bro. He won't embarrass.
I can't hear what I'm saying right now.
No, Kyle's good money. He's throwing some good names out there. You can't touch Goodfellas. Goodfellas is untouchable. Their story was done. It's closure. It's full circle. There's nothing else you can do with Goodfellas. If anything, you can go a whole different chapter and talk about a whole different story under Martin Scorsese, but you don't touch Goodfellas. And like Mark said, you don't touch Casino.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah. Don't touch Casino. Don't touch
Goodfellas. Don't
what was the name of that? What was the name of that movie with Kaiser Sosa? Is that the one? No.
The Usual Suspects.
Yes, that was a really good movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that again either.
Yeah. I didn't like Jay touching that in the video. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. You know what I mean? I didn't like. I was just like, no, just leave that alone.
Jay messed up.
Like, no, don't.
Hey, chill.
Jay messed
I think
that
there's
up.
quite a few movies that whether they were good or bad just don't need to be done over. I think movies have changed now, which is why Coming to America looks so much different than the first one, but it was still good even as a standalone movie. I think that do you guys think that they're making classics anymore? Like, what movies have come out like the next year or two, the past year or two that would be a classic that like maybe our kids would watch? Be like, yo, I remember that movie.
I don't think
right now they focusing on Disney. Disney got a lot of sequels.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything out right now that I would consider a classic.
No, not classic wise. Nah. I think they even had Bambi 1, 2, and 3.
No. But you know what is good, Sean? Did you watch the Billie Holiday movie like we told you to?
I still didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either. I hear great things.
Listen, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but that is a very good movie. I could see why she got an Oscar for that, for her first role. That was a very good movie, and it was a lot of stuff I didn't really know about Billie Holiday too. That was really unfortunate.
I was definitely about to pull a Merv.
That was really unfortunate about her whole life and just.
The movie. There's a scene that Merv would definitely speak on.
You said pull a Merv. I thought
scene?
she was
What scene?
Start drinking and seeing how good her skin is. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. You know what I'm saying?
What scene you talking about?
Put lotion on his face.
When she gets naked.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Merv would love that shit.
No.
But I mean,
he would say something negative about it.
Well, yeah, he probably would. But the part where she gets naked is not done to turn you on. It serves a purpose. It's not.
No, not to turn on.
No, but I mean, I know what Merv would say. I know what Merv would say in regards to her body. Yeah. But the movie was actually really good. It was really good.
Mark, like, wait a minute, what physical features?
I know. You're gonna be like, what is
I ain't
going
seen
on?
it yet. You know what I mean? I
You're
ain't
gonna be
seen
like,
it yet.
yo, your face mad pretty, but what happened?
Yeah.
Mark don't
But
like that.
that's a good movie.
What's going on right there?
Yeah.
I think to answer Becca's question earlier, I don't think that there was. I don't. It's hard to say what a true classic is now, because if you think about it right now, Stacks and I were talking about this earlier. We purposely left out Marvel movies, right? Because if you think about Marvel movies, you can do several podcasts on Marvel.
We'd be on this bitch till 3 o'clock in the morning.
And I'll be with it. And I'm with it.
And I would be here for it.
I'll be here for it.
That's gonna forever go. It's going off of a comic book, and how long is that's gonna be like a forever thing?
But Tina, the crazy thing about it is, like Becca asked about like classic movies. I think that if you go back and you can go into the Marvel or the MCU catalog and put a couple of classics. I never thought.
Will Black Panther be a classic?
Well, The Dark Knight?
No, Black
yeah.
Panther.
You said Black Panther.
Black Panther.
The Marvel Black Panther?
I think the Marvel Black Panther is, I think for us, I think it is a classic, right? But here's the thing. It's real touchy because.
But not for film, just what it represented probably. You know what I'm saying?
It's something that's going to go down in history. I don't know if
the story was really good. But I want to go back to what Kyle said about the Captain America thing, right? When I first heard that we're going to start making Captain America, I was like, this might not be good. It might be the worst one out of the bunch. Captain America probably had the best trilogy because the stories were so good, you forgot it was a comic book story. You know what I mean? From part 1, 2, and 3. Part 2 was phenomenal. Phenomenal movie.
That was Winter Soldier, right?
The Winter Soldier. Phenomenal.
Man, that was a good movie.
That was great.
And then you follow it up with something like, with the whole Civil War, where it was so dramatic.
Damn, that was good too.
That's a classic. That's a classic. So to answer your original question, Becky,
Marvel don't disappoint, bro.
Marvel doesn't disappoint. Even Infinity War was a classic. If you go back,
you talking about, you got Marvel and you got Star Wars. Okay, people, grown folks dress up in
Star Wars. But Star Wars
your
gonna
kids
feel off,
are
though.
allowed to cut school when it drops at 12 a.m. when it releases. We went to the movies and I felt so bad because my godson was so little, and we were like, it's 12 a.m. and we have him out in the street.
Right.
When we got in that movie theater, oh my God.
People go crazy for Star Wars.
Let me tell you something. You sit front row, do not sit in the middle. You got to sit on the end towards the angle so you can see the screen properly. Front row is too much.
Yes.
It was so packed. I guess every kid was allowed to cut school the next day because they was not going to get up.
Well, they was in school sleeping.
But
the fans was crazy. The costume was crazy. To see the theater packed at 12 a.m. on a Thursday going into Friday.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. This is how crazy the Star Wars franchise is. People went crazy for that Mandalorian thing that came on, was that Netflix or Amazon or whatever? You know what I'm saying? They went nuts people went nuts for that. Like, yo, I can't wait till it comes on. Mark, you have to watch this. No, I'm serious. You have to watch this. Like, you real aggressive and serious. You know what I mean? Talking to me about this man. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how serious it was. Like, yo, like, you know, Star Wars people are nuts. Like, when they into it. You know what I'm saying?
Star Wars.
Hey, Sean, you know, me neither. But guess what? We in the minority on that. You know what I'm saying?
I just love me some Baby Yoda. I think Baby Yoda is so cute.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, and we in the minority, but I can respect. You know what I mean? What it means to a lot of other people. I mean, they
I respect it.
Like bread. Like, I understand.
I think I want to ask Becca this question because Stacks and I were talking about this earlier today as well. Like movies like I Am Legend, right? Which I think is I don't think it's a classic, but I think it's a really good movie.
It was a good movie.
I think it could warrant a decent sequel where it becomes more of a prequel to show how they got to where they were. And also you take a movie like Training Day, right?
Oh, Last Castle was very, very good, Kyle. Very good movie.
Yes, Kyle throwing out some bangers right now.
Kyle, I sent you the link. So check
even if you go back and look at Training Day, and Stacks, I'm talking about this earlier today as well. If you look at Training Day, could that movie benefit from a prequel where you show how Lonzo got to where he got to with the Russians, and you know, would that be a justified prequel of a Training Day movie?
Yeah, because the Training Day, Training Day will pick up from where that left off. It kind of gives us a backstory. So I think it would, because there's some things that we kind of got to figure out in the movie. But if you gave us a little bit of a backstory, we'll be able to connect it. And where Training Day starts, you can continue on and say, oh, okay, now that makes sense why this was being done, why that was being done, why Denzel was acting the way he was acting.
Yeah,
I think he would just turn into a dirty cop, just like Denzel.
What wasn't a big fan of Training Day, the actual movie. I mean, I love Denzel in it, but I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I thought the story was you know what I'm saying? And then and then the way
people liked it because it showed Denzel playing a different character.
But then the end of it, I mean, just the way he went out, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, this white boy don't know nobody from the hood, and then all of a sudden, he makes his son do this and do that. Come on, man, cut it out, man. You know what I mean? You a rook. You treat him like a rook, like it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't supposed to win that. He ain't supposed to win that.
Hey,
that's terrible right.
Hey, real quick, I need to make a quick announcement because we're across the threshold. I need to give a shout out to Blackjack TV channel 199. We got a lot of good things coming out of the pipeline, a lot of shows we have lined up. So thank you all for tuning in on Blackjack. I know we got to switch over from there because they're about to go into another show. I just want to say that. Facebook Live, we're still on. YouTube, we're still on. But shout out to Blackjack TV, Zingo channel 199. Thank you all for the support over there. So let me click real quick. All right, we're good there. So we are past. We are at 10:15 right now. What y'all want to do? We got 10 minutes. We got 15 more minutes. Still got people watching. What y'all want to do?
Keep going. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, for wrap this thing up in 15 minutes, man. I ain't staying on this shit. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B.
That sounds like Mark gotta use the bathroom.
Yo,
like I'm holding this for 2 hours.
Shit. I like, man.
Mark,
I gotta be up at 4 in the morning for work.
I agree. He definitely should have gotten more.
Yeah, he definitely should have got Malcolm X instead of Training Day. Absolutely. So, last
you know what else?
Oh, go ahead, Beck. Go ahead.
I was just thinking a movie that they shouldn't do over either is Set It Off.
Yeah, that's exposure with that.
And they want to know what.
They want to know what happened with Jada.
Well, Jada's the only one she's the only one that survived. So
they said they
want to know what happened with her.
Why? Why are you even talking about doing that movie? See,
because they run out of ideas. They run out of ideas.
They always run out of ideas. They always do. They don't need to do that. They don't need to do another Set It Off. No, we good.
I think that mainly happens when a movie. I think it mainly happens when a movie ends and it leaves us wondering. So everybody wants to know what happened with Jada and the money. So that's the only reason why they want another part of it. But
I can see that.
What would her story be? Like no one's going to really care about. It would be a Jada Pinkett Smith movie, and we don't want to see that.
Hey, Becca, guess what? Right. Every time you say something, and that's very logical what you said, right? It's the same thing, when I would say, yo, what's Tasha's story going forward on Power? And then like 100 people beat my ass online about Tasha staying on the show. You know what I mean? She don't got no story. Shut up.
Her story is over.
She be clipped immediately.
Yeah. But you get beat down online, for saying
Why
things
do you
like.
Want to know Tasha's story?
No, we don't.
He said we don't. We don't want to get Tasha's story.
Like
it's legions of fans that disagree with us. You know what I'm saying? How dare you talk about Tasha like that, Lord? Gee, what?
They think she got more to say. Yeah. So my last question for tonight for everybody. So we had some great actors and actresses.
I hope they don't do Baby Boy.
Of our time, of our same hue, right? So if y'all had to pick one that played the role, and out of that selection, you got Jamie Foxx playing. He was playing. What's his name? Ray, drinking too much. Jamie Foxx playing Ray. Will Smith playing Ali, and Denzel playing Malcolm X. Where would you go with that? Who would you pick out of them?
Well, I'm a huge Denzel fan. I am a huge Denzel fan. So he may just go on the top of the list. But to be honest with you, they all three of them played the hell out of those parts. It's really difficult to even put them in order because Jamie Foxx was Ray. Will Smith was Ali. Like you couldn't. Only person who did Ali a little bit better was the guy who played Ali in One Night in Miami. He actually did Ali. He did Ali very, very well. But I can't see nobody else being Ray Charles but Jamie Foxx. I can't see, other than that gentleman, nobody else being Ali but Will Smith. I definitely cannot see nobody else being Malcolm X but Denzel. Those three that's a hard one. One gotta go kind of thing. I gonna put them in an order. That's hard because they really all three of them did amazing.
And I
think Will Smith probably did the most. He had to change physically. He had to gain that weight and turn it into muscle. But Jamie Foxx played in that movie too, and Jamie Foxx had to gain that pot belly.
Yeah. And Jamie Foxx is getting ready to play Mike Tyson. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Ooh. And Mike Tyson is actually an executive producer of the movie, and they're both friends. Yeah. So I think he's gonna be really good in that too.
I think so too. But even Jamie Foxx, when he played Ray, he had to go through a lot of changes in his body too. He lost a lot of weight to be
I know
skinny,
they
coked out Ray.
Shut. I know that.
I'm gonna go in this direction. When I saw Ray, I thought that anything less than Jamie Foxx getting Best Actor as far as Oscar that year would have been highway robbery. Yep. So this is my order as far as those three actors in those films. And like you say, Cuzzo, Jamie Foxx was Ray in that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I like musicals. Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna go Jamie Foxx playing Ray, and then I'm gonna go Denzel playing Malcolm X because I felt like he was Malcolm X in that movie. And then and I'm not. This is just the order I gotta put them in. All three did great playing their roles, and I'm gonna put Will Smith last as far as playing Ali. Even though all three of them played the parts of their respective the people they played excellently, I'm gonna go Jamie Foxx, Denzel, and then
Will.
Then Will and Ali. That's my pick.
This one is different for me. I think by hearing y'all give y'all take on it, I changed mine in my head about 3 or 4 times. Because to Becca's point, I think it's really hard to pick who did what. Because if you think about the sacrifices they all took to take these roles, it was tough. I think Will Smith probably had the hardest transition because Will Smith was not developed as an actor like Jamie Foxx and Denzel Washington was for the years that they came through. I think that for Will to be able to model everything after Muhammad Ali during the taping of that movie, that was phenomenal for him to do that. But also, you look at Jamie Foxx, how he had to mimic the movements of damn, what's his name again?
Ray Charles.
Of Ray Charles. For him to have to mimic everything, all the movements, and also sing, he was tasked with singing, mimicking the movements, and also acting. I think that was a lot. But then
Jamie Foxx could sing. So
but let me tell you something though. An honorable mention, and I know you haven't seen it yet, but Audra Day did amazing as Billie Holiday.
That's what I heard.
She did amazing as Billie Holiday.
Was it her? Because I was watching it and it seemed like she was doing a voiceover.
No, that was her because Audra Day's singing voice is very similar. So all she had to do was add like a little bit more raspiness to it, and her speaking voice is not as high pitched as Billie Holiday's. But that was all Audra Day. That was all her because she can actually sing in real life, and she has a somewhat kind of earthy voice like that. But wait till you see it, Sean. Audra Day as Billie Holiday was amazing.
I'm gonna check it out.
That shit just came out and she won an award, right?
Yeah,
she did. I saw that. And back to what Sam was saying about Denzel playing Malcolm, for him to like really it's hard to memorize lines as an actor, but for him to memorize every speech that Malcolm X had during that time, right, and to do it so much passion and conviction, and that was a long movie. So there was a lot of things that he had to like recall because if you watch that movie, you had to look at the documentary, and he was honestly, you can take it was side by side. Like he did not skip a beat on any of it, from the movements all the way down to just everything that you can think of. The Malcolm X and Denzel, he killed it. He killed it. So I can't put it in order. I'm at the route Becca on this. I can't put it in order. So. That was mine for the last one. So we got Kyle on. Finally got Kyle on. We about to get close to wrapping up, Kyle. But we'll give you an opportunity to stick in peace, man. You're dropping some bombs in the comments, man, for some of these movies, man. What you want to say, bro?
I'm listening. I mean, I'm a movie guy. I watch a lot of movies. That's what I ain't working, I'm watching movies. I'm doing. I don't even watch regular TV. If it ain't a movie, I don't watch.
Can you name your top 3?
Top 3?
Can you name your top 3 and why?
Finding Forrester is one of my probably like my top. That movie like it's a great movie. It's like it's from start to finish. Great movie. Finding Forrester. The Last Castle was one of my movies. I love that movie.
That was a great movie.
I love that movie. Sleepers is another great movie. I watched that. Basketball Diaries. Like I watch movies. That's what I do. A lot of movies, and I go with movies that I feel. But like That's what I do. I love movies. That's all I do is watch movies 24/7. If I'm not working, I'm watching movies. That's what I'm doing.
Those movies that you selected, those are like the average person would say those type of movies in that order, to be quite honest. So that means you have to be someone that really passionate about movies that you watch. Most people would not pick those 3 movies as their top. Right. You go with the more conventional look. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm more diverse. Like The Red Violin, which is it's a subtitle movie. It's about the history of violin and how this violin was built, and it went through World War times. And like the strings was made from a woman's hair, and then paint on the violin was made from blood. Like, I watch movies, man. That's what I do. Trust me. Wow. So when I say I don't care for something, I mean that's just my opinion. But I watch movies like I said, Scarface to me, I just didn't really move me like that. Like, if it comes on, I'll turn it. You know what I mean? If The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen come on, I'm gonna watch The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, that's one of those kind of movies.
You like the suspense type movies. You like the movies that kind of make you think a little bit, make you
that's what
get
it seems
inside
like.
the whole genre of the movie.
Have thought. I mean, and things can mean different things when you watch. Like, even like the music I listen to. Like, you know, people like they artists, but I like things that make me think just a little bit more. You know.
The Nas fan.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm a Hova fan. I'm a Hova fan because he can hit you.
Let him go.
Oh, God.
You got to get him off the broadcast.
It's a political guy. You know what I mean? He should. You know what I mean? He's like a backpacker. He's just a better backpacker. That's all.
Yo, let's
get
out of here real quick, man. Yo, Calvin.
Yo, Kyle, you welcome tonight, my nigga. You welcome.
Yo, Calvin, thank you tonight, man. Yo, be blessed out there.
Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
You'll be blessed.
KP, you welcome anytime, bro. Shit.
I can't.
This motherfucker, hey, you welcome anytime, bro.
Right. Sean said grand opening, grand closing.
I actually like I love Shawshank Redemption.
That's that movie.
Beautiful Mind.
That's a great movie. I just watched that again the other day when I come out anytime.
He killed that role. That was awesome.
Yeah, he killed that. He definitely did. What time y'all usually start? I watch it, catch it sometimes,
8 o'clock.
Okay.
On Wednesdays, 8 o'clock.
Hip hop. On Monday nights, we do hip hop and sports at 8 o'clock. Tuesday nights, we're doing 4 recaps right now. On Tuesdays at 7. And Wednesday nights, we're here at 8 o'clock. Different vibes, man.
Sure.
And Kyle, we appreciate you for coming. Do your little plug real quick, because he's a business owner. He got a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let us know.
I own KB's Barbecue Smokehouse in Irvington on Stuyvesant Avenue. It's American style barbecue. We rank #1 in Essex County, #5 in the state of New Jersey. I'm going to open up a restaurant. I have another restaurant open April 1st called Heads and Sticks on Stuyvesant Avenue in Union. And then I also have an event on Stuyvesant Avenue in Irvington too.
Yo, you on our page, right? You in the Facebook page with us, right?
Yeah.
Post that on the Facebook page tonight, fam. Put it on the Facebook page so everybody can know it.
I got
put the flyer and everything.
Yeah, I got a couple peoples out there, so I got to come through see them. You know what I'm saying? I'll stop right through.
And I hit you. Matter of fact, I'll get with Tim, hit you offline because we got a show that's gonna come out there pretty soon, pay-per-view as well in Jersey. So we can hit you up, man. We can probably do some things out there, man. So definitely post your stuff on the page.
If you don't want to ever get together, like I know we just do this whole COVID thing, people staying away from me, the kind of sort of type, you know what I mean? But if y'all ever want to do a podcast, something like that in my event space, you can go on my page, you can see what it's looking like. My shit kind of dope. And just look at it, man. You know what I mean? Y'all can do it there. I don't mind. If it ain't rented out, y'all can use it. I'm always trying to help level us up. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
No doubt.
Indeed. We appreciate that, brother. It's all love. Apart from the JT thing, man, you good, man.
Nah, you good, bro. You're good for mentioning that shit. That's phenomenal.
And I'll blitz you with Jay-Z all the way down, brother.
Jeremiah.
Hey, that's why I fuck with you, KB. This is why I fuck with you.
Yo, man, get Cal up
You
out
all
of here.
right
Yo,
with
Tina,
me,
get him up
KB?
out of here. We done.
You all right with me?
It's
You
a
all
rock.
right with me?
Hey, you all right with me, brother?
Yo,
Hey,
get out of
brother.
here, man.
Hey, you all right with me?
You all right with me?
I'll go with you already.
All right, Joe.
All right, y'all.
All right, fam.
Peace.
Peace. Yo,
Yeah,
that would be
so
the
whenever
last time
y'all
we'll see
ready.
KB on this show.
That's a good brother, man. A real good brother.
So that's a plug right there.
We ain't
Whenever y'all
supporting
ready.
that. We
It's
going.
like I hopefully could come out to where y'all at when y'all come to Jersey. There y'all go, and he's a part of the bike community, so that would be even. That's large.
Right,
So,
a real good brother. Real good brother.
Tina, we good. We're gonna go to the cookout.
We're not good. Real good brother. I'm supporting.
Hey, y'all got a cookout fast food restaurant in Jersey? Because we'll do that over that joint.
We're going to KB restaurant. It's settled.
Now we're going to the cookout restaurant.
All from the pot.
He could
Right.
something if you wanted to have if somebody was getting married, he could do other stuff besides some daggone barbecue. Okay.
Hey, fuck that. He had me at it. He had me at Jay-Z. Shit.
No, we good.
Me too.
We're going to McDonald's.
He's all right with me. He's all right with me.
So let's close this thing up. Mark, what you got for us, man? What's your closing remarks, sir?
Man, it was good to hear everything about the movies and everything like that and the sequels. So I'm like, this was fun, for me, just to hear everybody's kind of different perspective, on different movies and things like that. Some movies should not be remade. If others are, because like a lot of people might have not seen them the first time around, even if they were really good, sometimes you got to bring that to the masses. So I can understand how those could be, taken into consideration. But other than that, I'm just like, leave the classics where they are. I really don't want to see, those remade. Because it's like a moment in time. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I talk about Scarface or whatever, right? Like I didn't get to see it in the movies, but my uncle sure enough did. You know what I'm saying? So when you watch the movie Paid in Full, right? It's kind of like, yo, they took you back there, right? Like, yo, like, man, like, yo, this low budget Cuban guy ended up blowing up to be the man. Like, if you were in the movies and you were in the game at that time, you could kind of go right back to that time and then understand where they're coming from. So it's like a moment in time, man. Don't take that from that. Leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? And let it be.
Indeed. What you got for us, Becca?
I think that movies have changed. I think COVID has changed the way we view movies now. I'm a movie goer, so I enjoy going to the theaters and watching movies, at the movie theater. But now that we're watching them at home, it's a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to, at some point, being able to go back to the theaters like I used to. But I think there are some movies that they should just leave alone and let it stay at a nostalgic kind of situation and not try and redo it, because when you redo a movie and it's horribly, you kind of mess up the love we have for it. So
right.
I think when movies are coming out, try not to be so critical of the sequels or the ones that are coming out, because I think just overall entertainment is changing. So a lot of movies are now gearing towards the younger folks, which means for our generation, what we like and movies we like, actors and actresses we like, they're old now. So we gotta try and change and refocus our love as far as entertainment and music too to a younger generation. So we get old, y'all. Some of our movies, our classics are they're gonna be in the past soon, or already in the past. So that's it. Just enjoy the movie, just laugh, and try not to take the sequels too critical, too serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you got for us, Tina?
I'm just waiting for a classic to drop, because we are in dire need of that. It's been a long time. I mean, I like the whatever, some of the movies that they've done sequels and stuff on, but like I think Sean said it, I'm not sure. they running out of ideas. That's why they keep remaking the same stuff. And it's like, okay, I mean, we like it, yay, thank you, but can we get something that's like jaw dropping, where in 20 more years we're not thinking about like, okay, 20 years from now, what Coming to America will be 50 years, and we're still stuck on that, and we want to do the same thing but with something new, like even with music.
Yep.
Okay, I don't think trap is going to be like, oh, we're going to be playing trap 30 years from now. But guess what? We're still listening to old school classics that our parents listen to, that our grandparents listen to. Like,
and those songs are 50 years old.
Yeah, and we don't have music like that now.
Mm-mm.
It's not like that anymore. Can you imagine us listening to trap music 30, 40, 50 years from now? We're going to be crazy.
Can you imagine listening to 444 Blueprint 2? 5 years from now?
I'll listen to that shit as soon as we done.
Cut it out, Sean. Cut it out.
My bad.
An original movie to drop that's gonna be a classic movie. You know when that movie about to start, just before the credits even drop, you know, like what's that, Lion Gate? How everybody know like if Friday about to come on, if this movie about to come on, something like that. Like, oh, you hear that? It start running to the TV. That's what I'm with.
Yeah.
What I do like about tonight was that we talk about a lot of different topics, period. But this topic brought out so many different avenues of everybody's different. Like when I say different, this was different because we had a lot of stuff that we agreed on, and if y'all brought stuff to the table that people wasn't even thinking about, like what?
Right.
I'm sitting here writing down like I ain't see that movie. I need to go see that movie. I ain't watched that yet. Let me go. Right. And then Kyle came on and he said some other shit. And I don't even play the damn violin, but shit, what? It was made out of blood. What? Let me go watch that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that tonight was great. It brought out so many, like I said, different avenues and things that you wouldn't have thought. That's like us talking about hip hop and we didn't even know y'all listen to rock music. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed tonight. And I missed you guys, so I'm happy to see you.
Hey,
Tina. What you got for us, Stacks?
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad to have Tina B back in the building. Good to see you once again. Shout out to that well put together brother KB just came on here, man. I always love meeting another diehard Jay-Z fan, but on some real shit, man. Y'all know I'm the guy that focuses on perspectives, and it's been a year since the country pretty much shut down, and we all were huddled in our homes and just wondering, you know, what was going on. And a year later, things are getting better. And one good, you could always put you always want to find a positive in the negative, and that positive is bringing us all together right here and right now to do this pod, and we've been doing it for a while. So that's one of the good things that came out of COVID. What I would task everybody to do is to channel your energy to put some positive energy out there into the world. We talked about some really great things tonight, and everybody, if it just serves as a distraction, that's what you're getting when you hear distraction from all the politics, distraction from all the negativity, distraction from all the divisiveness that's going on in this world right now. Mm-hmm. And that's great about being here with you guys Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I just wish what I want to put out to our viewers is I hope that we are bringing to you what we have all brought to each other, coming together as family, because that's what we are. And that's what I mean. This episode, I mean, this was a really good episode. In the words of B.I.G., who you know, he passed yesterday, 23
years, I think.
Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, as Becca would say. But spread love, man. I mean, that's all you can do in times like these, man. And I appreciate all of you, all of my pod mates, and I appreciate all the viewers out there. And that's all I got.
Indeed. Definitely a good night tonight. Very fun pod. You know, it was a break from some of the things that we have done before with regards to some of the heavy topics and some of the topics that were more about just life, life trials and life wins and ups and downs and things of that nature. So tonight was just a break from that. We'll be back next week and the week after and the week after with other banging topics that we're going to get into for you and yours to enjoy. I've always said this from day one since inception. If one person is listening and two people are listening, that's dope enough for me. And I'm glad that we had a lot of engagement tonight. We had a lot of people watching tonight. I'm curious to see how we stand for the rest of the night from viewership. We had a lot of people watching us tonight and maintaining that watch and that viewership. So we really appreciate that. Tonight's topic was just one of those topics that we really want to talk about. We really want to talk about movies. Becca mentioned it earlier, with COVID being out there, don't get a chance to go to the movie theaters that much. So this was like reminiscing, going down memory lane of the movies that resonated with us growing up. We all kind of right in the same age group. So we all have like a nostalgia when movies really meant something back in the early 80s and the early 90s when ideas were fresh, movie ideas were fresh, storylines were great. And we want to regain that. Like Tina even said, we want to have that feeling that we had watching Coming to America. We want to have the feeling of a new classic that we can say this is something we're going to watch every month or whatever the case may be. And I think we're hungry for that. So again, thank you all for watching tonight. Blackjack TV, Zingo Channel 199 again, YouTube. Actually, shout out to Facebook Live. Shout out to Cal for hopping on tonight. Disregard the shit he was saying about Jay. We don't care about that. We don't support that nonsense. But he would come on this again. I bet you that. But shout out to the brother for doing some good things out there with the barbecue. I probably won't go because of that Jay-Z comment. I would rather go and get a grill.
Don't do that, Sean.
That's the only damn barbecue I'm gonna get when I come around this area. And I'm gonna go to this restaurant eating a Mac rib. Like this Mac rib is better than that rib you got over there in that grill. But shout out to all these.
You come to Jersey and say that, they gonna look at you like you crazy. Jersey love some Jay-Z. I'ma just tell you that right now.
I know they do. Because he pay them off. But anyhow, he stole their style too. So Jersey style as well. But Jersey and Philly, by the way, and Queens. But anyhow, shout out to all of you guys. Shout out to all of you guys out there. Shout out to Merv. Everybody, please keep Merv in your prayers. Right about now, he might be tied up somewhere. Dressed in
he's doing somewhere. He's somewhere doing a Kappa shimmy somewhere.
Merv, don't let him put cups on you. Don't let him put cups on you. Don't let him do that.
Yeah, Mark, he's in
with an apple in his mouth.
Apple in his mouth.
It's his naughty boy mask he had on. They put it over his head, got it like this.
He's getting beat. He's getting beat by two prostitutes calling him a naughty boy. So, hopefully he's all right. But again, thank you all for tonight. We almost went 3 hours deep. So great show, great guys, great ladies. Thank you again, and we're out.
Peace.
Peace to the number 7. Everybody else get the 49311.